Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the last international fixture that has taken place for this weekend. As you guys know, we did a rugby marathon yesterday, 4 back-to-back live streams. This game is probably one of the games that I was looking forward to the most at the start of the week. Scotland versus Australia. The betting odds are very interesting for this match. Australia starting as the favourites, and then from there, Scotland are now actually the favourites at this stage because they have got some very good players back in their side as well. So I'm looking forward to this game. We will show the Scottish starting lineup, including a few changes that they have made in the locks. They have actually changed both of their locks for this game with Skinner and Gilchrist being brought in. Hamish Watson, always a very talented player at number 7, and then Finn Russell injected into that number 10 jersey. Also in that back line added in Chris Harris and then Duhan van der Merwe, Stuart Hogg as well. It's going to be very exciting to see what they can do. Darcy Graham out on the wing as well for this fixture. So they have decided to give a rest to not just Kyle Stein. He will be coming off the bench, but then they have also, it's Stein, Kyle Stein, but they have actually gotten rid of the other man who was able to pick himself up a couple tries, Rufus McLean last week, but now looking through at the Wallabies starting lineup, they have got a very decent side here as well, although they have got a few players who are no longer in the side, the likes of a Quade Cooper, Samu Karevi, also Reece Hodge due to injury. He is going to be missing, so Andrew Callaway gets the slot in at number 15. Paisami and Ikitau will make up the midfield here. James O'Connor slotting in at 10 as well. And at this stage, I mean, we are only about 10 minutes away from kickoff, or maybe about 15, but I'm extremely excited for this match because of the fact that Rory Arnold, he's going to be starting at 4 off the bench. They are going to have Will Skelton as an option as well for this one, which is going to be very exciting. Indeed, we have us got there, Katie Dixon in the chat. As said, hey, howdy, hey, y'all. Hope you're all well. Hey, Amish, hope you got lots of sleep and rest after the rugby gauntlet. Not really. I ended up getting about 4 hours sleep in between games because I did end up watching the Bunnings NBC, which was taking place at about 2 p.m. But I am sorry to hear about your granddad as well, Katie. I did see it very quickly on the Discord before I went live, so I do send condolences to you and your family in this tough time. We have got their narcissist as well. I said hello, Kiwi Lads and Katie as well. And who's winning this, Hamish? Says Jack. I will be completely honest with you, Jack. I have no idea because of the fact that the odds for this one just keep on teeter-tottering, and I feel like the scoreline in this game as well will end up just going back and forth between these two sides. I'm expecting a high-scoring one, and it is going to be at Murrayfield as well. The field that is behind me, I believe it's an afternoon game, which does mean that it's going to be very exciting indeed. Off the bench, Australia, they have got, like I mentioned, Will Skelton, Taniela Tupou as well. Tate McDermott, the return of Kurtley Beale is going to be an option there for them. And then also for Scotland, I would say the biggest player to look out for is going to be Kyle Stein, due to the fact that he was able to score himself 4 tries last week up against Tonga in their impressive 60 points to 14 victory, I believe it is. Whereas the Wallabies had a rest last week. They had Japan the week before, where they were able to get themselves a close win as well. We have got there. Thank you, Hamish, as well in the chat. And also, hey, brother, how you doing? I am sleepy, says a narcissist, and I'm going for Scotland 31-18 as well, says a narcissist. And I have some interesting information for you guys as well. If Scotland win this game by 16 points, and I believe it has to be exactly 16, if they win it by 16 or more, I should say, they will actually move up to 6th ranked in the world rankings, and Australia would drop down to 4th below England. So this is a game that Australia definitely will not want to lose, but definitely not lose by 16 points as well. I've backed Australia, but not confident, very 50-50. I just think if they beat the Springboks twice, not so long ago, they can beat Scotland as well, says that Jack. Yeah, it is going to be a very tough fixture for them because at the end of the day, they have lost their shining light, I guess you could say, from that kind of rugby championship with Quade Cooper, Samu Karevi, that combo at 10 and 12. But now they have got James O'Connor and also Hunter Paisami. So it's kind of, I feel like it's still going to be very strong for the Wallabies, but I am looking forward to seeing what they can do in this fixture. And Callaway at 15 is one that I'm wondering about, just because of the fact we haven't actually seen him get to play at number 15 throughout the Rugby Championship. He was out on the wing. He was scoring tries for fun, about 7 or 9 for that man as well. Sweet, sorry to my sweet manic, precious feral Wallabies as well, but I'm going for Scotland for this one, says Katie Dixon. And yeah, it is hard to bet against Scotland when they are at home at Murrayfield. And big love, how's everyone doing as well, says Sebastian? Doing very well. My voice at this stage, it's not doing too well. It's a little bit of a struggle, but I feel like at this stage, I think I have, I put the live stream that was going to be taking place between the Harlequins and the Wasps, I put it on private just because of the fact that I think my voice by then might be completely gone, and I'll probably watch that game and maybe fall asleep while it is on as well. Scotland may just win it as well, says AJ. I feel like that's a decent shout at this stage. They have a very capable side, definitely with Finn Russell at 10. He's going to be a playmaker for them throughout this fixture. Australia are missing a lot of good players, and the Scotland is looking bright for the next World Cup with all these young players. Scotland have been a bogey team for Australia as well, says a narcissist, in the last few years. And that's the thing. Duan van der Merwe out on the wing. Very solid individual. Stuart Hogg, whole heap of experience at number 15. And then Finn Russell, the just elusive style of that man, as well as Chris Harris, who is going to be in that backline as well. Like the fact that they have taken out 2 players in that backline that did score 6 tries last week up against Tonga shows you how confident they are with the new players that they are bringing in for this fixture. But at this stage, we did find out earlier on today, for anyone who is wondering, Black Caps, they did just beat Afghanistan. So because of that, they will be through to the semi-final. They will face England in the Cricket World Cup, and then also Australia will take on Pakistan as the other semi-finals. So it's going to be a couple exciting fixtures. Hopefully, we will be able to make it through to that final, although England definitely not an easy task, that is for sure. And now at this stage, we have us got the, I envy you so much, you lucky lady. Oh, no, sorry, that was in the Discord rather than in the chat as well. But yeah, I hope you are all doing well for today. And do let me know who is going to be scoring the opening try of this match, because we have also got the fact that the Black Ferns are going to be taking on England at the same time as this fixture takes place. So we've got a whole heap of rugby still at this stage that is going on. Romania at the moment having a decent fixture up against Uruguay. I believe they were leading the last time that I saw it, but we'll have another check in the later stages of this one as well. But nonetheless, at this stage, we are just waiting for the kickoff to get underway. But I will show you guys the starting lineup one more time. All of the fixtures that we have seen so far this weekend, they've been almost unpredictable, I guess you could say. Japan ending up getting just dominated by Ireland in their game. Also Australia at this stage, they were able to beat Japan last week. It was a closer fixture, but this stage, it looks like Ireland are going to be the real deal for next week when they will be taking on New Zealand as well. My app doesn't actually have Romania's game, which is a little bit unfortunate for Romania and Uruguay as well. And come on, the Bravehearts, says Steve Smith. He is excited for this game. I feel like at this stage, you will be very happy to hear, Steve, they have come in as the favourites for this one as well. Also, Jamie Ritchie, Hamish Watson, brilliant back. And they're missing Cameron Redpath, who's a rising star as well. Says Anasa isn't so disappointed with Romania's discipline with the first half, or in the first half, sorry. Ref keeps warning them that they're offside and give away penalties, but they won't listen as well. Says Sebastian, do you know what the score is at the moment, Sebastian, in that fixture? Do let me know. I was going to be keeping track of it, but I haven't actually been able to find it just yet. I believe it would be on World Rugby's website, though, if I'm not wrong, for anyone who does want to see that game, because I know that they actually streamed it on YouTube as well. I believe it's live at the moment, if I'm not wrong. But at this stage, this game is going to be only around that 10 to 13 or so minutes away from taking place at Murrayfield for this game as well. So Scotland going to have the home field advantage. They're going to have the crowd behind them. Hopefully, there is no rain, because it is currently 14 to 13 to Uruguay. As well as Sebastian there, and who's winning between Romania and Uruguay? So Sebastian has said that it is 14 to 13. I will quickly find out exactly what the time in the game is as well. We have got there the bookies odds. We're even last time I checked. I can't pick a favourite. I can't either. Like, the more I think about this game, I've changed my mind at who's going to win about 10 times. Like, a couple days ago, I was Australia are going to win it. But then Scotland, in my head, I was like, hang on. They got Stuart Russell, or sorry, not Stuart Russell. That's a combination of the two. Stuart Hogg, Finn Russell, Duan van der Merwe, all being added back in. So I don't see them losing. But then I was thinking about it in Australia. If they can find their little bit of momentum early, maybe they win this game. And I just kept on seesawing. And I still don't know who's going to win it. But that is what's going to be so exciting. But yeah, this stage, the second half just getting underway for Romania versus Uruguay. For that match as well. Mad King for the Finn Russell show as well. And yeah, he's a very talented player. And if he can kind of cement himself as the playmaker in the early stages for Scotland, I feel like they've got the chance of really being able to maybe run away with the game as well. So it is going to be very interesting to see. But they are showing Stuart Hogg here at the moment. He has had 391 minutes in the Six Nations. He was playing very well throughout that competition. I believe he got a yellow card, if I'm not wrong, in that game up against Wales. And also Australia, still the favourites. They are not anymore. They have gone down. I believe it's Australia sitting $2.10, Scotland sitting about $1.70 or somewhere around there as well. It's become a great rivalry. So pumped as well, says Steve Smith. Yeah, at this stage, it's a game that's going to be filled with passion, which is what we absolutely love to see. The game is only 10 minutes away from kicking off as well. I'm getting more and more excited. I only woke up about an hour and a half ago. I decided to go to bed relatively late because I shouldn't have, but I did, because I was watching the rugby yesterday, the Bunnings FBC Southland versus Taranaki, where Taranaki were able to win it 24 points to 10. I also watched UFC 268. So that probably wasn't a good idea due to the fact I did end up going to sleep at about 7 p.m. and the team with the most South Africans will win as well, says Ernest. Duan van der Merwe is one that comes to mind, Ernest. So I assume that is Scotland will be able to get that one, but they are talking to the head coach, Gregor Townsend, at the moment. He will definitely have a little bit of confidence after the way that they played in that game yesterday. They actually did very, very well not yesterday, last week up against Tonga. They really cemented their backline as one that's going to be fast-paced, get the ball out wide, and then open up the opportunity. And in this game, they've gone with Darcy Graham on the right wing and on the left wing, Duan van der Merwe. So because of that, you're going to have power, you're going to have pace, and you're just going to have a very exciting battle with Jordan Pataya taking on Darcy Graham. Tom Wright will have his hands full with Duan van der Merwe, but then the same could be said for Duan van der Merwe with Tom Wright, as he was able to score last week, or the week before, up against Japan. Congrats to the Black Caps for reaching the semi-finals. Yeah, they did very well. Afghanistan, everyone thought that maybe there was that chance that they were going to be able to pull off the upset, but luckily for them, they did not end up getting beaten there. And Australia is my last leg of my multi as well. Says Aiden, how many legs does it have, Aiden? Does it have as many as a spider? Because if it's got 8, you're probably making some money if they do end up winning this one for Aussie. But we are going to have to wait and see. Hopefully it is going to be a good fixture that we will get to witness between these two sides in only a very short moment. But ladies and gentlemen, first try scorer of the match. Who are we going in this one? I'm going to say, I'm actually going to say it's either going to be Duan van der Merwe or Tom Wright. I've talked about that battle, and it was my MM5, as says Aiden, for that one. I believe you had all the international rugby fixtures, didn't you? If I'm not wrong there. So you've done so well up to this point to be able to predict them. And yeah, predicting this game is something that I don't think I will be able to do. Even about 60 minutes through, I think it's still going to be neck and neck for this one. Be interesting, Dave Rennie coaching Australia now, facing a team made up of a lot of players he coached at the Glasgow Warriors. Perhaps he knows a couple secrets that he might be able to maybe let the Australians in on. But they will be disappointed that they don't have Quade Cooper, no Samu Kerevi either, and then also no Reece Hodge. So they have had to have a real reshuffle. Kurtley Beale coming off the bench, and also Rory Arnold starting at 4. I am glad to see him there. I was a little bit worried in the last game between Toulouse and who were they playing? It was last week, and Toulouse's game, it was actually Richie Arnold who did get injured, unfortunately, but he stayed out there. He ended up getting his wrist pretty much bashed, and he just kept going. He was like, I'll just shake it off and she'll be right. So Rory Arnold, he is going to be with the Wallabies here, and also Isaac Rodder as the 4-5 combo. So they haven't got Matt Phillip, and they also don't have Darcy Swain for this one as well. Darcy Graham, Stuart Hogg, and Duan van der Merwe. There's a beautiful backline as well, says Sebastian. And also Duan for the first try, then a Finn Russell hat-trick to remind us whose house this is as well. And the chat says force one. And also we have got there, hey man, what time does the match start? It starts in 8 minutes time, mate. So we are getting very, very close. Inside info might help Australia as well, says Steve Smith. Yeah, I guess when you have coached quite a few sides overseas, you can use that inside knowledge. I guess in a way it was similar to what we saw for Italy. They played very well up against the All Blacks. They knew what they needed to do in defence, and they were reasonably solid in it as well. I'm looking forward to the Six Nations. It's still 3 months away, but hopefully it is going to be coming around the corner very quickly. Hey, Hamish, the marathon man as well. Hope you had a decent sleep as well, says Tanya. I didn't get as much sleep as I probably should have, but I'm still very awake for some reason at this stage. I feel like I'm alert like a cat that's about to jump on a bird. I'm right here for this one. So after this, I'll probably end up crashing straight away. And Callaway will score the first try as I'll be right back, says Katie. And I hope you're excited for this match as well, says Barry Green. I am as well, mate, because of the fact we just don't know what way it's going to go. My prediction originally was going to be Scotland leading at halftime, Australia to win it in the end. That was the very, very first one that I predicted. But then I can't decide now because of the fact that there have been a lot of changes. Kurtley Beale off the bench, I don't know how much of an impact he will have compared to someone like a Kyle Stain. I feel like he should have more, but Kyle Stain coming off 4 tries. He's going to be interesting. Going with Darcy Graham for the first try scorer again. He's back as a winger where he belongs now as well, says Steve Smith. And yeah, last week, I feel like he deserves one, Darcy Graham. He just got absolutely lined up by the Tongan players back to back to back. He even got double teamed by 2 of them at one point. I've been watching your England rematch with the guys. You guys are just a stream. So funny as well, says Tanya. Yeah, that one with England, it's an interesting one. Me, George, and Daniel. Daniel's only been on the channel twice, and it's for those 2 videos up against England. So we want to get him on a little bit more in the future as well. Speaking of cat, how's your cat? Where he at as well, says Barry. I believe he is sleeping at the moment, but due to the fact we are on the Kiwi Lad Sport channel, the only emojis I've got I can put up in that corner. We will put Billy up in there for a little while. We have also got the George one that we might have a little bit later on, and hello as well. Greece Go Wallabies says, oh yeah, so welcome into the live stream, mate. At this stage, the Wallabies, they are showing Michael Hooper, a man who just doesn't seem to get out of form in recent times. He played well in that series up against France. He played well in the Rugby Championship, the Bledisloe Cup as well. Fixtures, he was on fire, and he played very well up against Japan last week. So he is captaining from the front. James O'Connor recently returning from injury, and he's straight into the starting lineup due to the fact that it is going to be Quade Cooper who is missing from this one. George cracks me up as well, says Tanya there. And also, we've got the I'll go with Duhan for the first try as well, says Sebastian there. But we are going to have George hopefully next week for the Bunnings NPC and maybe a couple international live streams on the channel as well. But Stuart Hogg here going to be leading out his boys. He is excited, you can tell, for this fixture. Looking very determined as well. Now, Scotland, like someone mentioned, they are the bogey team a little bit of Australia. They can win, and they certainly have the ability to do so, but it's whether or not they can start. They can gel early, and they can really put the Wallabies under pressure, who have one of the best defences around at the moment. They were doing phenomenally in the Rugby Championship, and now at this stage, Scotland making their way out onto the field. My smile is getting bigger and bigger as I see these sides making their way out there. Murrayfield is looking packed for this fixture as well. It's looking almost sold out, which is awesome to see. Well, this one in Australia will be too strong for Scotland as well, says Geronique. And who is going to score the first try, Geronique? Do let me know. This stage we have at the prediction of Darcy Graham, Duhan van der Merwe, and also Andrew Callaway is another one that has been said in the Highlands. Have gone really, or early quiet, or eerily, quiet. Depending on today's outcome, it'll erupt later on in one of two ways. I hope Scotland wins. Otherwise, we could be, or there could be trouble ahead. And Taniela Tupou for the first try, says Chalk Up as well. He's going to be coming off the bench, but was able to score the last try of the match up against Japan. So it is going to be pretty exciting to see how he does go. We have also, you should let him have Kitten so you can sell it, so you can have money to improve and a bonus to channel spend it on the channel if you would like to as well, says Barry Green. Although the only problem for him having kittens is the fact that unfortunately he is neutered. I believe that's how you say it anyway, which means pretty much he has had the snip, which means his thing can't make the children. But we also got the Romania kitten as well, says Sebastian. Also, we have got the how's it, mate? How you doing as well? I'm doing very well, mate. And yeah, hopefully you are excited for this game as well. Australia, the away side. We are at Murrayfield for this fixture. The sun is out, but it is on the far side of the field, so I don't believe it will play a factor. But now at this stage, we have about the national anthems, or we are about to have the national anthems, I should say. Nice one, brother. As on, I think Scotland will be the surprise card in this match. The Aussies haven't been playing that well at all as well, says Tania there. And the big thing is the return of Duhan van der Merwe, the return of Finn Russell, return of Stuart Hogg. You guys have heard me say it a few times, but it is true. When you have those three coming back into that back line, and Chris Harris, he's an underrated player in that centre, but at this stage, the Australian national anthem is playing. So what I will do, while we have got the Australian national anthem, we will put the Australian starting lineup. The player that you can't see behind my cat is Alan Alatoa, who is going to be starting at 3. Rory Arnold back in the Wallabies. That is due to the Gitto law, allowing him to be there. Tell you what, Taniela Tupou looks like a child next to Will Skelton. Will Skelton is a huge individual, that is for sure, and he is going to be coming off the bench in the later stages. Rob Valentini at 8, Rob Leota and Michael Hooper making up the loose forward trio. Then James O'Connor starting at 10. Big role for him to play in this game, marking up against Finn Russell, who is very elusive indeed. Jordan Patai out on one wing, scored up against Japan. Tom Wright out on the other, and Callaway gets his first opportunity in the Wallabies kit at 15. So it will be interesting to see how he goes due to the injury of Reece Hodge and also Tom Banks, who was recently injured as well. Leonard Cadell and Hunter Paisami, very solid in the midfield as well there for the Australians. We have got there Lolasio will miss the first kick, although he is not going to be here for this game, but he is joining back up with the squad. It's funny how you say it wrong or say or inappropriate as well. Says it Barry Green there. And also we've got there, they are not playing badly, but their discipline is concerning as well. Lots of penalties given away, says Sebastian there. Nice one, brother. And at the chat, says Steve Smith. And also we've got there Duhan van der Merwe should play centre. He is as tall as a lock. And what is he doing on the wing as well? I guess they are just using him as that real crash ball kind of down the wing. Because if he gets a little bit of steam going, he's going through everyone. And we can hear the bagpipes now. And the Flower O Scotland is playing here. And I'm very excited. Oh, I'm just listening to it. I feel like at this stage, this is going to be an epic game between these sides. I've got my Scotland Rugby shirt on as well, says Tania there. I have got, at this stage, I'm trying to have my impartial pants on, but it's so hard to in this game because I want to support both of the way. I've got there Izzy Quay Cooper today. They do not have him for this game, Barry, or Samu Karevi or Reece Hodge. So they're missing 3 big players, but this is the starting lineup for Scotland. Darcy Graham moves from 15 to 14. And at this stage, they have also added Chris Harris to that starting lineup. Gone with 2 new locks as well in Skinner and Gilchrist. And then Ali Price, he will be important in that number 9 to feed the ball to Finn Russell, who can then open up the back line, including Stuart Hogg, the captain, at number 15 for this one. And at this stage, the Scottish national anthem, it is about to be over, and this match is about to begin. And I'm smiling here to hear what your thought of the Wales game, mate, as well. See, Shark Brain, it was extremely close. And it seemed like it was going to go either way right down to the final moment. But luckily, we did get to see the end of the game. And it was a very close one. And I'm glad it went right down to the wire as well. I feel like it's one of those ones that as long as it is a close game, everyone is happy in that regard. But we have got there. Stuart Hogg is a great player, says Tania. He is indeed. He's going to be starting at 15 for this game. But nonetheless, we are getting very, very close. This is the bench that both of these sides have gone with. I'm just going to quickly make sure we are all running smoothly. Do let me know if we're having any lag or anything like that. My Wi-Fi probably doesn't like me too much. But hopefully it is all right for this fixture. But nonetheless, at this stage, Duan van der Merwe out on the wing, Darcy Graham out on the other, Will Skelton, Kurtley Beale, both being added back in, and they have been in France. One for Racing 92, one for La Rochelle, who have been doing decently recently, able to get their win over Bordeaux in recent times. But now at this stage, they are showing the Wallabies starting lineup as well. We have got there. Hopefully they get the win as well. And happy to see Finn Russell starting. He's a quality player for me. Do you agree? I do indeed. He is one of those players that I believe he was almost going to become the most paid international rugby player due to the fact that he was going to be signing for a Japanese top league side, but stuck to Racing 92 for that one as well. We have got there. Scotland have such a beautiful squad. I truly mean it as well. Says Bastion. Also, I want Scotland to win, is it possible as well, says Sharkbrain? They have actually come into this game as the favourite, Scotland. So I would say it's 100% possible for them to be able to get it going. And this one, Kurtley Beale off the bench, like I mentioned. Tate McDermott as well might be a late sniper, as I like to call him. But Finn Russell, they are showing him here. This is a massive game for that man. Returning to the Scottish side and played in the third test for the British and Irish Lions. He has played a little bit for Racing 92 since then. He came off the bench last week, and now he is ready to start for Scotland. I'm excited. Hopefully, this is going to be a high-scoring one. Try scoring machines out there on the field and also off the bench in the later stages. But now at this stage, played in the 21-15 win versus Scotland here in 2013 was Nick White. And now at this stage, the kickoff is going to be upon us in a very short moment. I really hope Scotland give the Aussies flames as well. I'm predicting Scotland by 10+. People always underestimate Scotland as well, says Steve Smith. Yeah, at the end of the day, they played extremely well up against Tonga. And if they do anything like that in this game, they will have a good chance of being able to maybe run away with this game if the Wallabies don't end up kind of gelling early. Come on, Aussie as well, says Jork up. But that one has been kicked off by the Wallabies, going from right to left. And it's going to be taken by Scotland inside of their 22. And with a massive clearing kick downfield, James O'Connor now getting this ball 40 metres out from his line and puts up the kick. And right is going to be chasing it, taken beautifully by Stuart Hogg there. Offload now to Chris Harris, trying to get the quick step going. He is going to be dragged down by Valentini. The stage, Ali Price going to be firing it back now, just using the big forwards, trying to create the angle perhaps, and that could almost, James Sliver getting out of there just in time. Finn Russell now going for the kick. It's been charged down though. Sits up as well, and it's a flick on the inside of Leonard Kittow, not quite able to link up, and it is going to be taken nicely by Ferguson. That was very lucky for Scotland due to the fact that the Wallabies were almost able to get through, but now it's going to be the big runner, Jamie Ritchie. Tackled a little bit high maybe by O'Connor, but he was able to drag him down. I will read the chat in a very short moment. Do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, who is going to be able to score the first try if you haven't predicted it already, because at this stage, it seems like it's going to be a frantically paced game. Ali Price now rolling this ball back for the box kick, only 25 metres out from his own line as well. And it looks like big van der Merwe is going to be chasing it. Also, Jamie Ritchie, although he just tripped himself, it almost landed on his head as well. Sitting up now for van der Merwe, who is dragged down by Pattaya, but just inside of their own half here, Scotland. Ritchie fires it back now once again. It's the quick hands. Beautiful offload there from Finn Russell. Coming out into the hands of, it is their number 12, which for this one is Sam Johnson. He actually started at 12 for the last match as well. He is almost one of the only men in the back line who hasn't changed. Stuart Hogg dragged down on the halfway line, straight on the ball as well. No, not quite able to get it for the Wallabies. Once again, in the ball up, it is the man in the number 8, Jersey Ferguson. Is that going to be a penalty advantage? No, who's still available for Ali Price to use? Goes back to Finn Russell now going for the kicking game. Maybe a 50-22 attempt here, but I believe it was taken back into their half. And Callaway, a lot of pressure on him to keep that ball in the field of play, but he has done so 5 metres out from his own line now and kicking it for the touchline. And that one has gone out for the first stoppage of this game as well. Who do you got? Go Wallabies as well, says Ed. This game, for me, is a seesaw kind of battle. I can't really decide who is going to be able to win it at this stage. I think it's going to be high scoring and both sides going to have at least 2 tries scored on this one. He can kick like Farrell, then when take a conversion. Have you seen it as well? Says Barry Green. He's a very talented kicker, that is for sure. And also we have got their Hello Amish vote for Scotland to win this one as well, says Kevin. And also we have got their predicting Finn Russell to get in James O'Connor's head and damage him psychologically as well. Says it was Gash there, and also we have there, come on, says Ed, and also plus Scotland are on home turf, so they have a massive support from the Tartan Army as well, says Dania. Yeah, at this stage they have got plenty in attendance for Murrayfield. Now it's going to be Darcy Graham. Beautiful low tackle though from Lena Cattell. Wallabies trying to counteract, but at this stage the possession has been all the way of Scotland now. Finn Russell going for the cross kick, going to be sitting up, and Nick White takes it nicely, passes it back to Wright. Well, he's backing himself now. Did actually do a beautiful step up against Japan, able to break the line and score the try. But now at this stage, Nick White, lot of pressure. Ali Price steals it. No, it's a penalty to the Wallabies, and there's a bit of a wrestle going on at the moment by the likes of it. Quick tap taken by Michael Hooper. They've decided that they want to keep on playing at a frantic pace just inside of the half of Scotland now. It is going to be Rory Arnold first touch in a Wallabies kit in a very long time for that man. Kicked him behind by O'Connor. And now Hogg going to be taking this one just outside of his 22 with a couple steps as well, trying to break the tackle. Good tackle though from Hunter by Sami, opposite number 8. Going at each other. It's a penalty to the Wallabies. So we have got there which stadium they play at. They are at Murrayfield for this fixture. And also we have got there who's going to score the first try. I did predict either Duan van der Merwe or Tom Wright as my man that was going to be able to score on this side of the field. And Kels scored the try in the game, or score a try in this game. And also we have got there Scotland looks more dangerous than Wales even as well, says Sharp and also Murrayfield says Sebastian there. But this game is being played at a lot faster of a pace than I was expecting. It is going to be the 3-point attempt though for the Wallabies here, and James O'Connor will get his first opportunity off the boot, but they are certainly continuing to just keep the tempo going as well. The ref is so hot, and none shorts as well there, which is an interesting one to have as well. And also we have got there in the chat Murrayfield and Edinburgh as well, says Tanya. But now at this stage, the penalty early on going to the Wallabies 4 minutes into this fixture. And at this stage now they are just showing it was the man in the number 8 jersey, Matt Ferguson. He is a very talented player off the back of the scrum, that is for sure. But 4 minutes 20 into this game, Dave Rennie, he is looking concentrated because of the fact that this is a massive opportunity for the Wallabies to build momentum into their game next week up against England, which is not going to be an easy fixture at Twickenham. But if they can win this game, they will definitely feel a little bit more confident. But if they lose to Scotland, maybe that will be the woundedness that England need to be able to pounce as well. We have got their box, made all their games look so hard. I was so furious, mate, as I said, Sharkbrain. Yeah, that game went right down to the wire between them and Wales. And congratulations, bro. Kane Williamson Black Caps have successfully qualified to the semi-finals of the World Cup after beating Afghanistan. Now they will meet England. They will indeed. They did very nicely, the Black Caps. And at this stage, James O'Connor not striking that one nicely. It's gone away to the right, and the score will remain 0-0 after the 5 minutes. We have got there Scotland and Australia both played quick pace rugby. That's why it's going so fast, David, as well, says Steve Smith. It is definitely testing my quick talking or my fast talking or whatever you call it, my auctioneer skills, I guess you could say as well. So we have got there, it'll be fast paced because they both need to win this as well, says Tanya. And it is that huge question of how long can both of these sides keep up the tempo that they are playing at the moment. Callaway going to be taking that one, first touch of the ball for that man when he is running it forward. He's going to be dragged down by Chris Harris and also Ferguson once again. Just inside of the half at the moment. Nick White goes for the little chip and chase. It is going to be sitting up nicely. Oh, Stuart Hogg knocking it on, and now it's bouncing through the hands, though, of Ikatau, and it is going to be the scrum feed just outside of the 22 for the Wallabies. It could be mistaken. Did Australia play Scotland in the semi-final in the 2015 World Cup as well, says Kevin? Oh, that's a good question. I feel like someone in the chat might be able to help us out there. I know that the last time, or they did actually have a stat that 2013, Australia were able to beat Scotland at this ground, and Nick White was actually playing in that one. Look at those two previous goals as well. Says that Barry Green there, and also we've got to remember that 2015 World Cup game that Scotland should have won, mate, as well. Says the Sharp Brain there, and also we've got there this guy sus about ref, and also we have got their quarterfinal. Says it Gash there, and also yes, the Aussies beat Scotland. Says Tanya, and Australia started for far the better side as well. Says Jack there, and also we have got their Sharp Brain has said yes, they didn't. They were robbed by the ref. But now at this stage, it is going to be the scrum feed 25 metres out here for the Wallabies going down in the front row, and we are going to have a scrum reset. It looks like Michael Hooper's wearing about half the paint that's on the field at the moment, and we've only been going 6 minutes into this fixture. The referee just telling the guys, try and keep this one up instead of just going straight down like they did. But they have got Daniela Tupou as one to watch in the later stages of this game, the Wallabies, and also we have got the Ed Fogel player to watch. Tell you, Daniela Tupou, I guess will be a good one there. But also, I would say Stuart Hogg's experience in the later stages of this game is going to be something that helps Scotland, because the fact he's been around for a very long time, Stuart Hogg, but then he'll be up against the experienced Kurtley Beale. So I feel like those two maybe will be able to cause some damage for both of these sides in the later stages. And player to watch here is Finn Russell as well, and no one else. Just keep your eyes on him. Yeah, Finn Russell already going through a few kicks, and that's going to be the front row of the Wallabies going down, and it's a penalty to Scotland side. I believe it was on the far side. James Slipper losing his footing up against the very talented Xander Fagerson, who didn't really get too much time for the British and Irish Lions tour. I believe he had an injury right when they were just about to get going. And also, I agree, Scotland should have won, but silly ref call against them as well, says Kevin. And also, we have got there Darcy Graham and Andrew Callaway, too. Other players to watch out for in this one. That's the thing. Like, when like trying to isolate just one player to look out for, it's very tough in this game due to the fact that both sides just have a whole heap of depth and a whole heap of talent and a whole heap of pace as well. You got to watch out for those pacey wingers. And yeah, I would say Will Skelton as well is one that I'm looking forward to seeing for the Wallabies due to the fact that at La Rochelle, he just steamrolls his way forward. Like I said, during the national anthem, he looks like he is the adult. And Taniela Tupou as a child, a little knock on there, or actually forward pass against Scotland, and it is now going to be the scrum to the Wallabies, and they will certainly want it to be a little bit more solid this one. And also, we have got there, Stuart Hogg has also been playing at Exeter to add depth to his experience as well, says Tania. He has indeed, although I did see Exeter Chiefs actually ended up losing their game up against, was it Newcastle, 14-13, I think it was, or something along those lines. And it's interesting due to the fact that a lot of these Gallagher Premiership players, definitely for England as well, their sides are now struggling just a little bit more. Saracens actually having a 24-24 draw, or maybe 34-34 actually, up against London Irish in that one as well. Very happy for Sherman as well. He is unlucky not to play for the Springboks as well, says Albert there. And yeah, it is great to see him playing, and he is in a very good kind of vein of form at the moment, you could say. As well, he is going to be having his hands full up against Alan Alatoa at scrum time. But this stage, you'd say it's 1-0 at scrum time in favour of Scotland, and they haven't even had a scrum feed at this stage yet. But now it is going to be set by the referee. They will not want to go down in the front row, and it is going to be going out the back of the scrum here for the Wallabies. Big push. And now at this stage, no advantage, so it's going to be the bounce pass into the hands of Paisami trying to steamroll his way forward. The stage looks like Nick White might be putting up the kick and chase. As I know, instead passes it back across to Isaac Rodder, just getting a little bit of a better position on the field perhaps, and now he's going to fire it back into the pocket for James O'Connor, who is kind of, no, instead they're going to go to James Slipper once again. It looks like James O'Connor is very much ready for this kick when he does get the chance, and Alan Alatoa having a bit of a wrestling match as well with one of the Scottish players, and they might go back and have a quick look at this one. Him and Xander Ferguson really going at each other, but now it's taken beautifully by Darcy Graham just inside of the 22, running it straight back up the middle, and it is going to be the penalty. Now to Scotland, takes the quick tap and is flying his way forward. Darcy Graham now just outside of the 22 here for Scotland. Their first attack of the match. Finn Russell, short ball to Sherman. This stage you can hear the crowd get in behind their home side at Murrayfield. It's going to be Stuart Hogg, little grubber of mine, sits up, taken nicely by Callaway though. And he is going to be dragged down to the ground by the Scottish centre. We have got the, yes, it was Hamish. They're all struggling because we've been in lockdown for over a year, so none of them have been able to have any decent games as well. Says Tony, then come on, score, says Steve Smith. And the chat as well, he's going for Scotland in this one, that is for sure. And also, we have got there, do you remember the 2018 Glasgow Warriors side? That team was incredible. Both Hogg and Finn Russell were there as well, says Sebastian. It's quite cool seeing like the younger players, or even though at that stage they would have still been pretty experienced, it's quite cool seeing like all these combinations in the past that we have been able to see. Now it's the draw and pass from Fundameva, great step there. And now it's an intercept though, taken nicely by was Iketel, who was able to get it straight on the ball. Now Chris Harrott, Nick White just got well and truly whacked there, but they are going to be going back for the scrum feed. And come on, Scotland, says Dania there as well. What's the score margin for this match as well? So he said, I don't think it's going to be split by more than 10 points at all. I think it may even be tough to split it by 5, depending on how it goes. But Len Iketel, that is one of the first interception ones that someone has touched with one hand and actually been able to regather so that it isn't a deliberate knockdown. He did very nicely there. Then a lot of pressure on him, though. Soon as Chris Harris saw him, his opposite number, he decided to get him as well. But yeah, at this stage, it is going to be, does Dylan Fundameva ever run up the middle, mate, as well? He did just try it a little bit. He did do the draw and pass, though. So I feel like he's one of those players. He seems to have his moments where he's really able to steamroll his way up the wing, but also it's that unselfishness at times as well that does make for great players in that back line, because of the fact that if you know that you've got like those two different styles that you might have to try and defend against, I guess you could say, do you lure in 2 men, but then you can't because of the fact that if he passes it off, then you have got to mark that man as well. And then it can cause a little bit of indecision in the back lines that are marking up. Ali Price is a player to watch as well. And Chris Harris is a beast of a defender as well. Yeah, very impressive. Never really misses tackles. Chris Harris, he did get a little bit of time for the British and Irish Lions. Oh, there's actually going to be a sub made already by the looks of it for Scotland, which is not good news at all. I'm trying to see the number. Is it the number 16? I like how leaning does not help, ladies and gentlemen, because I am watching on a screen, but it is going to be now the number 16, and it looks like George Turner here might be in quite a bit of pain. And he does not look too great at the moment for Turner. I'm not too sure what happened there in terms of whether or not it was an injury, but you can see the disappointment on his face, and it is now going to be the man in the number 16 jersey, Ashman, making his way out there. He's everywhere as well as Steve Smith and what Scotland's rugby ranks. So they are sitting at the moment in 7th, but I've got a fun fact for you, and that is going to be that if Scotland win this game by 16 points, they will move up to 6th in the world rankings and drop Australia down to 4th below England. Whereas if Australia win this one, they do get an extra 0.68 on the world ranking, so they will go up just a little bit more, but they will still be in that third place position as well. Morning, bro, as well. Says Peter, welcome in to the live stream. At this stage, we have been going for 11 minutes of this match, and no one has been able to score themselves a point yet, but it will be coming very soon, I have a feeling. Ali Price now on the far side, both front rows going down, and it's a penalty this time to the Wallabies. So I guess you could say that's 1-1 in the scrums, and also I think we should agree on the fact that all 30 men on the field are the ones to watch. All of them are fabulous as well, says Sebastian. Exactly right. And is it true that Owen Farrell tested positive for COVID? It is indeed, which is why they did end up going with George Furbank as their number 10 last night. And then also they had Marcus Smith off the bench, and he made an impact when he did get a little bit of a chance, Marcus Smith. So I'm excited to see what he can do, maybe starting up against Australia if they decide to use him. Although saying that, Furbank did decently, so I feel like maybe he will get the start. Perhaps, and I know that's early on as well, says Tanya. Yeah, you never like to see an injury. Definitely not in the very early stages of the match. O'Connor now giving it off to Alan Alatoa. The Wallabies at this stage, 25 metres out. Nick White passes back to Falau Faian. Now O'Connor with a drawing pass out to Jordan Pataia. And at this stage, the Wallabies, this is one of their first attacking opportunities of the half as well, where they have been able to put phase after phase inside of the 22. Isaac Rodder there dragged down with a good carry. White passes it back once again. James Slipper just shut down by the two new locks for Scotland. They did change both of them for this picture. That's a low ball, and that's going to be the knock-on advantage, and it is going to be the scrum for Scotland now on the 22. And also we have got there, it is given. He's out of the squad, isolating as well. And does Scotland have a good bench mate as well, says Sharp Brain. While we are at it, I can actually show you guys exactly who is on that Scottish bench. I would say one to watch out for, Kyle Steyn, due to the fact he was able to score himself 4 tries last week up against Tonga, and it is one of those ones. You know that Scotland have brought in some good players when they replaced the likes of, I believe it was, I'm trying to remember the name. What was the name? He was the winger. And I can see him, Rufus McLean, that is the name. The fact that they have taken him out, even though he had almost a very good game as well, I guess you could say, it is rather surprising. But at the end of the day, they have to replace some of those players to get in the likes of a Finn Russell, or also maybe out on the wing of Duhan van der Merwe. We have got there to Scotland. Have a good bench. And also, hey, it's a decent game so far as well, says Assassin. It is indeed. Seems like it is going to be a very close one and a very tough one to split either side as well. But Finn Russell there is going to be the first receiver. If they decide to use him here for the scrum, it's a big push, and Scotland have got the advantage now on their own 22. Finn Russell looking like he was going to kick a drawing pass there. Trying to work out Chris Harris now, gives it out into the hands of Graham. Was back on the wing where some would say that he does belong, but because of the fact he was at fullback for the last fixture as well. But we will quickly get rid of that one. There we go. Now you can see the scoreboard, and it is still 0-0. Stuart Hogg now backing himself. Almost just a shoulder charge from Bunter by Sami. Stuart Hogg, though, inside ball to Ali Price. He has got the man on the outside. Duhan van der Merwe just trying to burst his way through the tackles, and at this stage, 10 metres out from the Wallabies line, and they are going to have, it's stolen by Falau Faian. No, it's not. They have given away the penalty. And tell you what, that was close as well. George Horn and Adam Hastings are good replacements as well. Steyn could make an impact in the later stages too as well, says Steve Smith. And also Stuart Hogg, even good mate as well. That was a brilliant run from Stuart Hogg, breaking the line and almost getting them their first try of the match. Come on, Scotland as well. And there from Steve Smith. And also we have got their Farrell may miss game against the Springboks as well, says Kevin. Yeah, I think he will end up missing a couple weeks at least there. And what a game this is. Come on, Scotland as well, says Ollie. And also we have got the well, says Assassin. And it's a bit of a thing though, because often lateral flow tests turn up positive, but people may not necessarily have it as well. At this stage, due to the fact that he is with the squad, I believe it was someone behind the scenes as well, like a coach or something like that, or maybe a member of staff may have also had a positive test. But at this stage, Scotland 5 metres out, and they are going for the rolling maul straight away. The replacement, Ashman, going to be involved. Turner, unfortunately, going off the field very early in this game, but now Ashman, he's only been out there a couple minutes. And they are trying to drive it forward. They have been told to use it once. It looks like Ali Pricey is going to be passing it back now into the hands of their number 12. Big hit on him, and he looks like he's taking a bit of a head knock. And now James O'Connor. It's a counter-attack here for the Wallabies, and he is kicking him behind, going for the 50-22 if it goes out. It will be the line-out throw for the Wallabies, but it is going to be staying in the middle of the field. Taken nicely by Stuart Hogg. Huge amount of pressure. Dragged down, and that's going to be a 5-metre scrum, is it? No, it might still be available for Darcy Graham. It is, or Darcy Graham, I should say. It is a 5-metre scrum, and Stuart Hogg is not happy about it due to the fact that he is saying that he did not put that ball on the ground. Do you think Black Caps can beat England in semi-finals? Because sudden knockout of Jason Roy and Tyrell Mills, it will be very tough, to be honest. So we will have to wait and see how it goes for them, but it will be an important one. I guess he has got a little bit of an argument there due to the fact that Stuart Hogg did not place that one down on the ground. This is intense as well. And just tuning in from BK Sports and Blaze seems to be oversleeping from streaming for 14 hours straight yesterday until this morning as well. There's Sammy Sosa. Yeah, he also did a rugby marathon last night. But yeah, welcome into the live stream, Sammy Sosa. And also Johnny Sexton is grey. Already Ireland still don't have a replacement, mate. And also your streams are amazing. I look at your subscribers and join someone else doing same stream. You got 63 watching and they have 15k subs and you have more viewers. Amazing job as well, says Ollie. So thank you very much, mate. Hugely appreciated you being here for this live stream. And at the end of the day, we are just continuing to grow this Kiwi Lad Sport channel. We hit 500 subscribers yesterday, which was absolutely insane how quickly we were able to get there. New Zealand versus England women's match starting soon as well, says Rice. It is indeed. And at this stage, Uruguay versus Romania. I think they are going to be going. Okay, they might actually go upstairs. Okay, so it is going to be the scrum 5 meters out here by the looks of it. And also we have got there. Can we take a moment to hear how fast he is talking about it as well, says, oh yeah, this game is being played at a very frantic pace. So because of that, I am talking very, very fast. New angle there, and it does show Stuart Hogg putting the ball down on the grass. So that does now mean that it is going to be the 5-meter scrum, and it's going to be a very good opportunity for the Wallabies to get something going. I've never seen Hogg play. Didn't notice him in the Lions series, so that's good to hear as well. See Shark Brand, and also we have got any link to see the game, please. I believe Stan Sports, Sky Sports, and also Amazon Prime are your best options, mate. But I don't believe they have got it anywhere else that is free to air unless you get a free trial of Amazon Prime. But the highlights will be on the Stan Sport YouTube channel after the game is finished, if you do want to check it out. But at this stage, 17 minutes through, and it is still 0-0 between these two sides, but Australia in a very good attacking position. Only 17 minutes into this game as well. Plenty of time left. Well, this one, Sexton is going to be going to do one more World Cup. He will probably try right after it as well, says Assassin there. And at the end of the day, he's very consistent with the kicking, Johnny Sexton. And kicks are important. We've seen a lot of penalties in recent rugby. So because of that, if they can continue to get the 3-pointers over, I feel like they will continue to select them. It's going to be a big push there from the Wallabies trying to march it forward. And they are going to say that it did not cause the advantage, but now Nick White going to be firing it back out the back line, gives it straight into the hands of Paisami. Crash ball going forward, metre short of the line now. Nick White is looking for it, and it's a penalty to Scotland. And Rob Ballatini was about to drive his way over the line, but it is going to be the penalty to Scotland, only a couple metres out. Very well defended. Come on, Scotland, as well, says Moss there in the chat. Hamish Watson, the man who was able to get straight in there. And also Scotland were supposed to score first as well, says Sharp Brain then. And also, hopefully not, mate, Ireland need one of their young fly-ass for the World Cup. I believe that's along the lines of maybe Byrne or Carberry as well, isn't it? As another option. Oh, Tom Wright's playing with the corner flag. But Paisami just crashes into the line. Hamish Watson straight onto the ball. That one, the second roll they have said is the penalty. And Dave Rennie has said what is the call there. Nice on Scotland as well, says Steve Stephen. Now they are going to be having the line out. How do you get mod as well, says Rice. It is pretty much from the people who have been at the channel, I guess the longest for the main channel, because we also have the Kiwi Lads, which we normally live stream on, but due to a kind of false copyright strike, we haven't been able to live stream on that channel, which is why we are on the Kiwi Lads Sport as well. Powerful defense from Scotland, well, says Sharp Brandon. Also, they probably have Sexton on the bench as well, says Assassin. Also, Hamish is the real chatterbox, all right, since his brain processes information like lightning as well, says Sammy Sosa. I feel like that's the thing with these live streams. My brain has to like work in overdrive. Like I'll probably burn myself out at some stage due to the fact that I am just constantly thinking, not just the chat, not just the game. Like it's weird. I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like, oh, I forgot to read the chat. And then I'm like, hang on, I'm sleeping. I can go to sleep now. And then I do it like an hour later and go like, oh, quickly in the chat, we've got chat messages going up. And cheers, mate. As says Ollie, and also we've got there, will the South ever give Europe a chance to win the World Cup? I feel like the best chance at this stage, with the potential that they have got France at home. But it's going to be an interesting one whether or not they can get it done due to the fact that they have been, I guess they're still very young in their development, France, and game might finish 0-0, anything is possible, as I said, Steve Smith. And also, will the South, I read that one from Shark Brain, but yeah, if this game finishes 0-0, I feel like there'll be a few people who are not too impressed with it. But at the same time, if it is a very close fixture in terms of the fact that it's just attack after attack, kind of going backwards and forwards. I feel like I wouldn't mind a 0-0, but of course we want to see some tries. At the same time, Scotland has improved so much compared to the other top teams as well. Says Kevin, yeah, they've been on fire. They only just missed out on being able to finish in the top 2 of the Six Nations because they were just having all of their games extremely close. Their defence was solid, and that is something that they will need in this game as well against an attacking Wallabies side who have been scoring quite a few tries recently. But Alan Alata are now 30 metres out from his own line. Now it looks like Nick White will be putting it back into the pocket for James O'Connor. Decides against the kick originally, but then now puts it on the boot. It is going to be going down the middle of the field, taken beautifully by Stuart Hogg there on the 22 now. And he is looking for the counter-attack, charging forward at the line. Hogg looking for the gap. Great low tackle on him, though, by Isaac Rodder. Now Price looks away to Finn Russell. Oh, beautiful offload to Shulman. And at this stage, Finn Russell, Michael Hooper has just come from the the Scottish side of the breakdown, and he's just ripped it away. We have got their still all. It is indeed. So we have got their Scotland might be dark horses for the World Cup if they keep improving. I actually think they've got a very decent chance of being able to get that Six Nations trophy for this year, the next year. But I feel like maybe if it's not this one, it might be the next one after. Because, I mean, you look at their side, like even in this game, you've got all those young wingers coming up through the ranks. Then you've got Finn Russell at number 10, Stuart Hogg at 15, Fun de Merwe out on the wing, who was very good in the Six Nations last year. I'm excited to see what they can do. Bloody obstruction by Aussies as well, says Mawson. Also, we got the we will probably have a young fly half for most games as well, says Assassin there. And also New Zealand have a bad record in Europe during World Cups, mate, as well, says Sharp Brain. But yeah, it is one of those ones that, of course, Northern Hemisphere advantage, I guess you could say, in France. It's so hot and cold. Not sure if they can play enough good games in a row to win the World Cup. Time will tell. Wales are my dark horse for the World Cup as well, says Albert there. And also we have got give that Hooper a yellow, says Morse. But now at this stage, it is going to be going back once again for Scotland. They've got the advantage as well. Chris Harris trying to play crash ball, tackled by his opposite number, Lena Gattel. Hooper gets on the ball, trying to turn it over, and he has been able to do so. So now they are going back for the penalty once again to Scotland. Now, do they take the 3 to give themselves a lead in this game? And also we have got their top what time Wasp play you do live stream too as well, says Kevin. So that game is going to be kicking off at 5:30 New Zealand time. Originally I was going to be doing the live stream, but I have decided that I'll probably end up watching that game from bed due to the fact that I didn't really sleep that much last night because I kept on watching rugby. You know, when you get in the rugby watching mood and you watch because we watched about 4 games back to back to back. So then I watched another 2 after that and just kept on going kind of thing throughout that. And so you're Irish as well. Who do you want at the number 10 or as the number 10 at the World Cup out of curiosity as well? Says Sebastian there. And 2 nations in a row, 6 nations in a row, Scotland have narrowly missed out on winning. I think it's only a matter of time as well, says Steve. And yeah, I'm looking forward to those ones. We are going to be doing the live streams of those fixtures on the channel as well for the Six Nations. Even though they're in the middle of the night, that's almost a normal time for us now. Scotland going forward over the line. And that is the try, and it is going to be Hamish Watson who was able to score it for Scotland, and now they have been able to score the opening try of this fixture, just driving their way forward. Hamish Watson, he doesn't pick up that many tries in recent history that I can think of, but he was right place, right time there, and now Scotland have been able to take the lead. And at the early stages, we all had that to the try scorers list, which may be relatively long for this game. As soon as one scored, I feel like there's going to be a few more, but Hamish Watson, it's the same first name as myself, and he has done very nicely there. Not because his name is Hamish, though. I'm sure it is because of the fact that he was just right place into that rolling ball, and they just kept on going forward there for Scotland. And now at this stage, Hamish Watson scoring the opening try, the Mish Machine as well. Says Steve's over the try in the chat. And really, France has was really bad last night, mate, against Argentina score first as well, says Sharp Brain. Yeah, it is one of those ones. They fought well to be able to win that game, France, and they've got Georgia next week. So I think that will help them out a little bit. Hamish Watson fire. Who would have thought? Good on him as well, says Sebastian. And also we're going to yes, Scotland. Says Morse there as well at Scotland's time. They had a terrible run of bad luck and form. So everyone is rooting for them apart from England, says Danny Amu. Come on, you Scots. And then Hamish telling us that Hamish scored as well. Says Sharp Brain. Yeah, something I don't get to do. Oh, wait a minute. They're going upstairs here. We might have to take this one back. Oh, okay, no. It's still a try, but they're going to be a yellow card, I think, to Isaac Rodder. Possibly. Maybe. Is that what we're going for? It might be missing the try emoji right about now as well. So we are just ticking this one very quickly. Taken nicely by Richie. Then from there, they started the rolling maul. I think that is fine. Maybe. Or to Gilchrist. They're saying it's Gilchrist here, whether or not he did get this right in terms of the pass and the ball back. because he did end up, I guess, he went off to the side. Did it stop Rory Arnold from getting in there? I don't know whether or not it did stop him. I think it might be a try still. I'm going to put it up in the corner with the try emoji just in case, but we have got there as well. Says Ollie, and also mute the mic. Says Ollie there, and also we have got there the chat. Let's beat these fellas as well. And also we have got there, let's go Wallabies. Says AJ, and also I would probably like Carberry at number 10, to be honest as well. Why can't he challenge the ref as well? Says Mawson, also good Australia deserve the yellow. They are even playing in yellow as well, says Sharp Brain. But yeah, this stage, okay, it is staying as a try, so it is still the try for Hamish Watson. And also we have got the, yes, Scotland dark horse for the World Cup in French as well, says Kevin. But yeah, it's going to be staying. There is no yellow card, though. I actually thought originally they were saying that Isaac Rodder had done something wrong, but they were checking to see whether or not the man Grant Gilchrist, who is at 5, kind of ended up getting in the way of the Wallabies defence, but there wasn't anything clear and conclusive. So because of that, the try stands. Mr. Hamish Watson scores himself the try, yes, sir, in the chat from Ollie as well. But now Finn Russell will be lining up his first kick of the day, 23 minutes in, and our scoreboard, here we go. Oh, he did get the kick. I haven't actually seen it yet, but now I have it. It did go straight down the middle for Finn Russell. Should have known that that one was going over. 7-0 for Scotland now after the 23 minutes. So they have been able to score their first try of the match as well. At this stage, it was just a good throw in from, in the end, it was the replacement Ashman, and then it looked like he was going to be able to get the rolling ball, but it actually just kept on creeping forward for Scotland. They really never stopped the momentum going forward. Sticking with Duan for the second try as well. And also we have got there from Sebastian. And also, ever heard of the commentator's curse bait as well? Says Shark Brain. I have indeed. I have done it many times. Like any time I say that someone's going to score a try, they never do. Unless yesterday, I said the only try of that game, I did actually get right. I was like, welcome, Marks. Watch him off the bench. He's going to score here. And he did, which is something that I don't normally get right. And also, come on as well, says Tanya there. So now at this stage, Scotland just inside of their 22, and Ali Price looking like he is going to put up the box kick once again now. Has gone high from Ali Price, setting up nicely in the air, taken beautifully by Andrew Callaway, though, who has been a star for the Wallabies in recent time. Also, we have got there. Wouldn't be surprised if the commentators could supply to Hamish anyways as well. There's Savvy Souza now. It is going to be going back. Paisami gives it off to O'Connor, trying to counter-attack here. The Wallabies, it's going to be Lena Cattell with the step, but they are 40 metres out at the moment. White passes it back now to Rory Arnold. It is great to see that man back in a Wallabies kit after the Gitto law has been scrapped. So now it is going to be going back by Sami, now drawing past Tom Wright instead. Takes it on himself, tries to offload on the inside to O'Connor, and it's a little knock-on from Scotland originally, and then it was the Wallabies, so it is going to be going to the situation we have. It's got their big sports must be starting to stress out as well, says Steve Smith there. Yeah, the Wallabies at this stage, it's going to be an interesting finish to this match. I said, as my original prediction, Scotland will be leading at halftime, but then the Wallabies might be able to win it in the end, but we'll have to wait and see. Nearly 100 watching as well, says Ollie. So if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like. Also subscribe, because of the fact that we are going to be doing plenty of live streams in the future for rugby, including next week as well. We have got there. Big Sports is a one-eyed bias commentator as well, says Boss. And also there's a Scottish flag erasure as well. Somebody call the cops as well, says Katie Dixon there. And also we have got their Scottish flag. Why you no show up in the chat as well, says Katie Dixon. It's weird that they do only have it as a, yeah, it is just a black flag. And sorry, upset any Australian fan, but Australia has got so much talent. Keep fail as well, says Kevin. And also Scotland's defence is really good, but can they keep it up for their full 80? That is a brilliant question. And this one, it's going to be the early push there. And now at this stage, we are going to have the scrum reset as well. We have got the Australian. What can you expect from Big Sports? Whatever the Wallabies have played as well. Also, we have got there. Who are you betting on to win the cup as well? Says Assassin. Ooh. See, that's a tough one. Originally, my mind was on, of course, I think the favourites are the All Blacks, but it's a tough one. 2 years' time, I mean, I feel like either France, I feel like the Springboks are probably a decent shout as well if they have a couple more times. When was the last time these two teams met? That was a little while ago, I believe 2019 or somewhere around there, if I'm not wrong, Barry. And also we have got there, noticed that the other days, same with Welsh and English too. So for some reason, they decide not to let us put the flag, and that's going to be the penalty to Scotland now at the scrum time. And at this stage, it just seems to be anyone who's putting the scrum in, they don't actually end up winning the penalty. Also, we've got the I am flabbergasted as well. I am flummoxed as well. I am verklempt. Tell you what, you know some fancy words, Katie. I don't know what those two last ones mean. But we also got the Let's Hope Scotland scores again, guys, and keep Oz at 0 as well. And also, I'm getting a Ouija board as well right now. I'm contacting Steve Jobs and asking him directly why this is happening as well, says Katie Dixon. And speaking of, well, it was the slight topic before Ouija boards, of course, but If Scotland win this game by 16 points, they will overtake the team that are sitting in the sixth position. So they will move up to 6th, Scotland, and then also Australia would drop down to 4th below England. But now at this stage, Russell passing the ball back across, and it is going to be Ferguson once again driving his way for Price. Looking for the offload now to Finn Russell, who is passing it back nicely to Stuart Hogg. Darcy Graham got the man with him back in his pace, doing the little chip and chase. They're quite falling over. And I think both of them ended up tripping over each other, and they are going to be now going for the mark for Andrew Callaway. It's New Zealand, South Africa, Australia, and France for me as well, says Assassin. Also, we have got there. Hard to tell, brother. A lot could change in 2 years. But probably England or New Zealand, I think, as well, says Sebastian there. And also, we have got the Highlands just let out a roar, and this was such a quiet neighbourhood as well, says Tania. Yeah, it is one of those ones that if Scotland win this one, there will certainly be huge celebrations going on for this fixture, because at the end of the day, these two sides want to win, because both of them have games next week. Scotland are going to be taking on the Springboks. Not an easy task. Australia are going to be taking on England. Not an easy task. So both of them want that momentum heading into the next game. But currently 28 minutes into this fixture, 7-0 at the moment for Scotland. We have got their house. Finn Russell keeping up, mate, as well, says Shark Brain. He's doing decently so far. Anytime he has had the ball, he is able to set up that next pass that does kind of create that opportunity. Finn Russell there. He's actually got the ball right now, and he has been tackled by Leonard Cattell. He's had to make a huge amount of tackles so far throughout the early stages. Now, once again, Michael Hooper tries to get straight on the ball, wins the penalty for the Wallabies in the breakdown. And we have got their lull in the chat as well. And yeah, that's true. A lot can change in 2 years. And Subkeys in the chat from it is Miminela. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. But welcome into the live stream. Thank you very much for tuning in. WW has said, come on, Aussie as well. Yeah, at this stage, they have certainly got a couple tries in them. I just subscribed, bro, as well. Thank you very much, mate. It's hugely appreciated. Anyone who is new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, be sure to leave a like on this live stream. We are currently sitting on a total of likes that I am about to see once it does load. We are sitting on 26. So can we push our way towards 40 by halftime? Let's see if we can do it. Job well done. Romania, 15-point win as well. And Eagles have been avenged as well, says Sebastian there. So very nicely done one by Romania. I wonder if they move up in the world rankings, Sebastian, at this stage. And also, Springboks have already won a World Cup in Europe, so they might get another one as well, says Shark Brain there. And it looks like, Falaufainga is down at the moment. It looks like some sort of ankle injury. They have got Conor McInerney, who will be coming off the bench. At this stage, it looks like they are going to be playing on at this stage in this game. But Falaufainga, he does not look flash. That would be both hookers injured for this one as well. And Scotland must do their best to win as well, says Andre. And also, we have got the obstruction again, says Morse there. But at this stage, Conor McInerney might be making his way out onto the field a little bit earlier than he expected as well. We have got in 2 years, the New Zealand side will be fully embedded and properly seasons as well. They'll do it again, says Tania there. Yeah, this stage, it's going to be interesting. 2 years' time, do they still have the likes of a Sam Whitelock, or would he have retired by then? Aaron Smith, I think, will still be there. But it is that question of who else of those younger guys who will be coming through the ranks. The likes of I don't know whether or not Sam Cane will be there in terms of the older players. So anyone with the name Sam, seems like they may not be there for this one. But then also, you've still got those other options in the back line of whether or not some of those kind of more veteran players are going to be around for that one. Of the Aussies have a long breath as well. Scotland must not exhaust themselves as well. And wishful thinking, Dania as well there. And also we have got there, if they do move up, I'll be hearing it from you on the podcast as well, as mentioned. Indeed, you will. Pin comment there as to the link to the Rugby Down Under podcast YouTube channel, and also the link to it on, it is a Google podcast or Apple podcast, sorry, but now it is going to be the back line here for the Wallabies. O'Connor chipping behind, and Jordan Pattaya chasing this one hard. It looks like it is going to be Darcy Graham takes it. He is only a couple meters out from his line. And at this stage, good drive forward there for Darcy Graham. And now at this stage, it is going to be available for the kick downfield from Scotland, although they are going to use a couple more of those hit-ups with the forwards to try and create a little bit more angle for Ali Price. We have also got their healthy Aussie fly half, bro. O'Connor so far, he hasn't been doing too badly because of the fact, of course, they have lost Quade Cooper, and also Noel Alisio, he is not playing in this game. But O'Connor so far, he hasn't been doing too badly. He has missed one kick early on in the game, but I think that might have just been due to the fact that he hasn't really had too many attempts, I guess you could say, in that Wallabies kit in the recent times due to injury. We have got their New Zealand won 2 of their World Cups at home. Where did they win the other one as well? Says Shark Brain. I feel like that's a very good question for a trivia kind of quiz, and I don't actually know the answer. I don't believe. Where was it? I feel like someone in the chat will be able to tell us for that one as well, but that one is going to be going to the back. Rob Valentini takes it nicely now. James Slipper offloads it back. Rob Leota straightens with the run. The player who plays for the Rebels throughout Super Rugby. That is coming back in February to 22nd, I believe it is. That is going to be taking place. Nick White now passes it back to O'Connor. Now wide cut out pass. Tom Wright is going to No, he doesn't. He doesn't score. We got a penalty from the referee in the breakdown. I believe he says so. It is going to be the penalty. What does this one mean? It looks like he's doing one of those machines. I'm going to have to wait and see what this one is. It's Hunter by Sami who was penalised, though. And also England 2015, and also James can't convert to save his life as well. Says Mamiya, or Miminia. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. In 2015 England as well. I believe we will get to see a replay of that breakdown to find out what it was that was the penalty. But Tom Wright, almost out on the wing, was able to get it. Finn's aura is getting to James O'Connor as well. Says gosh there. And also we have got there. No wonder England has a grudge against NZ as well. So Rob Leota charges his way forward. Then okay, so it was Hunter by Sami tackling Finn Russell off the ball that did end up with it, because it wasn't the breakdown, and he ended up just continuing to drive forward as well. And no wonder all we have is got that Hooper leave the ref alone, play the game as well. Says that Morseman now at the stage it is going to be in the hands of Hogg. Wide cut out past to Darcy Graham with the step as well, trying to go around the outside of Tom Wright, who has been able to wrestle him down and put him into touch as well. And now at this stage, good tackle from Tom Wright. And now it is going to be the Wallabies who will end up with the line out. There's a little bit of push and shove going on out there as well. The passion will be high. Oh, taking it quickly there. Tom Wright, no. They have decided that they can't do that, and now it is going to be the line out here for the Wallabies, just inside of the half of Scotland. Still 8 minutes left in this first half. We're up to 32 at the moment. Also, we've got there Paul James. Hope improves as the game gets going as well. Yeah, I feel like it is just a case of he hasn't really had a huge amount of minutes. Definitely not at starting 10. I don't believe he's gotten the start since Quade Cooper returned to the Wallabies. So because of that, he will just need a little bit of time to kind of find his mojo again. But Hunter by Sami crashing the ball for 45 metres out here for the Wallabies. Nick White passes it back now. Jordan Pataya looking for the kick downfield. It's looking like it's going a little bit hard. Oh, great kick there from Jordan Pataya. It is not a 50-22 due to the fact that they did take it back into their own half, but it is going to be a 5 metre line out here. And it is going to be the Scottish side who will be under pressure. Was it Lenikatau? Might have been Lenikatau with that brilliant kick. And now Scotland going to be under pressure. And we always got the, you need a glass of water for this match, Hamish, as well. Says Steve Smith, I definitely will need one after this one. Going to the back there, massive contact between Nick White and Ferguson there. And now at this stage, Scotland once again going to be able to clear their lines. Finn Russell kicking it downfield, looking for the touchline. And he has been able to find it. Tom Wright, does he take it quickly? Decides against it in the end, but brilliant kick from it was Finn Russell. Can you keep us up to date and how many metres while in position as well? Says WW, I will try my best, mate. So at this stage, we are on the halfway line, and it will be the Wallabies who are going to have this line out. Also, we have got there in the chat as well. No, it's not. They can do it as well. Says Danny, and also 100 plus people watching. Cheers for tuning in. Everyone, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel from Sebastian as well. You heard the man. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, be sure to hit that like. We are trying to hit 40 likes by halftime, and now at this stage, for Laufai'a puts it in. And it is going to be now the rolling ball once again, starting to open up here for the Wallabies. It is still Laufai'a out on the field. It is good to see that his legs are working due to the fact that he was a little bit injured earlier on in this picture. That's going to be the penalty advantage here for the Wallabies. And now the ball's going back a little bit loose, but Callaway able to clean up now, back in his pace sideways. Shurman, though, lining it up, and he was able to drag him down. This stage, the Wallabies, they've had a couple line breaks, but other than that, Scotland doing very nicely to shut them down. That's going to be going back for the penalty originally. Now it will be about 30 metres out, straight out in front. The Wallabies will need to decide whether or not they want to take on the 3 or whether or not they go for the corner. We have got there in the chat as well. If they get their psych sorted as well, it says it was Miminia. And also we have got there in the chat. It seems Blaze from BK Sport is finally awake now, saying he'll start streaming after halftime as well. Says Sammy Sosa there, and also come on Scotland, says Sebastian there. So it is going to be interesting to see how the second half goes. At the moment, Scotland having a 7-point lead. Jamie Ritchie down, just getting the boot replaced and maybe a little bit of strapping here for the ankle. But this is going to be a physical second half, that is for sure. And James O'Connor kicks it for the corner now. 10 metres out, the Wallabies are going to be able to get themselves on the attack. Dave Rennie, he's not looking too happy, but when does he? Is the big question. Only when the Wallabies, if they win this game by 16 points to get them the 0.68 up in the world rankings. But if the Wallabies lose this one by 16 points, they will actually end up in the situation of they would drop below England on the world rankings. We have got there, Connor. Keep missing. They should just go for the line out as well. Says Sharp Brennan, also come on Scotland. Says Sebastian at this stage. They're going for the rolling ball once again here. The Wallabies for Laufai'a is sitting at the back, patiently just waiting to try and keep forward. Now he breaks off the back. Laufai'a runs straight at Russell, but he's been dragged down 5 metres out here for the Wallabies in a very good attacking position. It is going to be now Michael Hooper, does he back himself? No, passes it back across now to Isaac Rodder. I'm looking around for the likes of a Rory Arnold, although Michael Hooper reaches out and he scores it, does he? Yes, he does. It is a try, and it is Michael Hooper, the captain, who was able to get a bit of push and shove after the whistle as well. Both sevens being able to score in the early stages of this game, but Australia's try scorer, it is going to be Michael Hooper, who was able to get it. We will add that one to the try scorers list. There we go. Michael Hooper, the captain of the Wallabies, 36 minutes in, and he has been able to pick himself up a try as well here. Here we go. We'll go like this. And at this stage, we have got their try from Assassin. And my choice for the World Cup favours South Africa, New Zealand, Argentina, and Scotland as well, says Kevin there. But at this stage, they are just showing round the side there. Michael Hooper, was he held? Was he held? I don't believe he was held, but they are just checking this one to see a clean out. Michael Alaalatoa was, oh no. That might get it cancelled out due to the fact that Alan Alaalatoa has led and taken out Ferguson on the ground. So at this stage, this could be a no try for Michael Hooper now. Depending on how it goes. And then Michael Hooper just got his nose grabbed by, I believe it was Xander Ferguson there. And also try as well in the chat. And also Hamish will steal that ball as well, says Sharp Brain. And also we have got there, if Hooper doesn't score, then no one will as well. And also we have got there, BK Sport will be losing his preview as well, says Bashit. He will indeed, mate, unless they do end up taking this one back for the TMO. Well, we are going to have to wait and see whether or not that is the decision that they go with, because at the end of the day, this is a massive call here, and they need to make sure that they make the right one. So pretty much they are checking whether or not Alan Alaalatoa cleared out the man on the ground illegally. Oh, it's almost a glancing forearm to the face of Ferguson, who was on the ground. We have got their bummer for Australia if the try is waved off as well. And yeah, they've worked so hard to get into this position, so to just have it removed, because Alan Alaalatoa tries to lead in with the forearm and take out the man on the ground, this could end up getting reversed. And this would be a massive call in this game as well. Hooper would have been my choice for first try scorer for Australia as well, says Steve Smith. Yeah, like I mentioned before the game, he's just been in form. They are just showing Alan Alaalatoa. He didn't quite strike him clean, but he still had the intent of trying to go in and get him. And also with there, Hooper always stick his nose where it don't belong as well, says Sharp. And also mine would have been Andrew Callaway, says Sebastian. So there's a little bit of a glancing blow on the chin. And according to the British press, these two teams are often presented as rugby bridesmaids as well. No wonder they're both pushing hard. What an insult as well, says Tania. Yeah, it is one of those ones that both of these guys. Oh, that's going to be a no try. Michael Hooper does not score it, and instead Michael Alaalatoa, or Alan Alaalatoa, sorry, is going to be going to the bin for the next 10 minutes. That is a massive moment in this game. Yep, BK Sport wouldn't be too happy with that as well. Says Sammy Sosa. Also, we have got there, buddy. Argentina, remember 2007 World Cup, made to qualify for quarterfinal as well. And also, we have got there, is it just me, or are you glitching like the Matrix Hamish as well? Says AJ, sorry, hope not. But do let me know. We also got their try cancelled out as well. Says Sebastian. Also, can Aussies beat informed Pakistan in the semi-final? What is your prediction, bro? I think Pakistan will be able to take that one if they continue playing the way that they have up till this point as well. And also we have got the Alaalatoa, not the one, bro, as well, says WW. Yeah, not a smart decision. It's a big call, I understand, as a call from the ref, but he ended up swinging the arm. So because of that, it is a yellow card. Can't understand a word. Try using full stops and complete sentences. I'm not Australia, though, so maybe that's it as well, says Kieran O'Connor in the chat. And also, I think I think England lost to Scotland a while ago, mate, as well. Says it was Sharp Brandon. Big moment special if Scotland get another try from this decision as well. Exactly right. I mean, Alan Alaalatoa, they're going to be down to only having the 14 men out on the field for the next probably about 9 minutes of this game as well. What a nail biter, says Tania there. And Citrus with the yellow card. And also we have got the face palm there as well. And Australia just if that opportunity as well, says Crazy and said, yeah, not a good call, because at the end of the day, or not a good call from Alan Alaalatoa, that is, to try and clean out the way that he did, because they were still on the attacking, they were going forward. They were only 5 minutes out, and they were rewarded with the try originally, but now that one has been cancelled out, and a yellow card was given to the tight head prop of Australia, but now it is going to be once again Ashman at the back of the rolling ball here for Scotland. If they did score now, that would certainly be an insult to injury for the Wallabies, but only 4 minutes left to work now. Rory Arnold straight through the middle, trying to break that one, but not quite able to get Ali Price now back in his pace. Oh, big hit on the number 12, which is Sam Johnson for this one, although he's going to be held up there by Michael Hooper. It's been called a maul, so the Wallabies, if they can stop this one from going out, it will be the scrum feed, and that is exactly what it is going to be. England have only beaten Scotland once in the last 4 meetings as well, says Steve Smith. I remember the one in the Six Nations where Scotland were able to get the win. That's the thing. Scotland, even in the games that they lost for the Six Nations, they only lost them by about, I believe they had about 2 or 3 games that were less than 2 or 3 points by the difference. But Taniela Tupou now making his way out onto the field a little bit earlier than he would have been expecting, but due to the fact that there was the yellow card to Alanatoa, they need someone for the scrum. So Rob Ballatini does take a step back, and it does mean now that it will be Michael Hooper, or sorry, not Michael Hooper, Taniela Tupou, who will be out on the field for the next 10 minutes. So a whole Australian team, Australian, I don't know why I said that badly, is wearing yellow, so they won't mind as well, says Sharp Brain. Yeah, this stage, Alanatoa, he's got a little bit of a bigger yellow jacket on than he would have liked because of the fact he's not on the field at this stage. But Scotland are heavily the favourites in this game now, ladies and gentlemen. They are currently sitting $1.30 compared to Australia's $3.25. Wales by 1 point and Ireland by 3, Hamish, as I said, Steve. So yeah, 2 very close games. And I believe that Wales by 1 point, the difference was that yellow card or the red card, I think, if I'm not wrong from what I have heard. But now at this stage, it is going to be the scrum feed here for the Wallabies to try and get themselves going forward as well. We have got there Scotland have only been beaten England twice in the last 11 meetings as well. And they're from Klitschko. And now at this stage, it is going to be the big scrum from the Wallabies. It's going sideways. They've got the advantage, though, and now breaking off the back, Michael Hooper. He wants that try that he just missed out on. Going to be firing it back, Jordan Petaia, using a bit of a step as well, trying to find the gap. Not quite able to do so. The players left the feet, so that is going to be the advantage for the Wallabies, and that's the penalty as well. We also got there. So disappointed that Australia used New Zealand coach. So New Zealand have no good local coaches as well. And also we have got the England versus Scotland is always an explosive contest that would love to attend one of those games in the future as well. No try, says Tania there as well. And yeah, at the end of the day, like, you know that those two sides, like these Northern Hemisphere teams in the Six Nations, they play with a lot of passion when like they're up against each other. They're almost derbies every single week for the Six Nations. It's coming in February, and we are going to be covering those games on the channel. So if you guys are new, be sure to hit that subscribe button, as it is hugely appreciated. Jordan Petaia, he won't be appreciating his ankle at the moment because it looks like he is going to be down for just a little bit longer for an injury stoppage. Only a minute and a half left of this first half, and both sides want to be able to put their last little impact on the first half as well. We have got there probably no Aussie coaches from those private schools as well. And also Australia even uses New Zealand players, so the New Zealand coach makes sense, I guess, as well. And also we have got there O'Connor Hamish isn't an Oz either. Sorry, he's a Kiwi mate as well. And yeah, I love the passion as well, says Assassin. And yeah, this stage, all of those sides, they will want to try and build their way towards the World Cup. Jordan Petaia, he looks like he is going to be coming off the field now, which is a massive sub. And it looks like maybe Kurtley Beale will be injected a little bit earlier than he would have been expecting. They've also got Parisi, who they could use off the bench if they decide to do so. They've also got Pete Samu, Tate McDermott, and Will Skelton as 3 other players to mention. Scotland might win this, to be honest, as well, says Ghost Slayer. They're sitting in a very good position to be able to do so. They are taking on the 3 here, the Wallabies, and James O'Connor will be the man lining up. Oz will start to panic now as well, says Danny. And also most Oz coaches are coaching that National Netball League thingy as well, says Sharpburn. And so disappointing countries import foreign DNA, so they don't have don't have good DNA as well, says Miminia. Now this stage, O'Connor, 1 minute left in this first half, still about 8 minutes left of that yellow card. And he is going to be lining it up now. James O'Connor, he did miss his very first kick out to the right-hand side. But this time, he has got that one straight down the middle. So now the score is going to be the Wallabies sitting on 3 and Scotland sitting on the 7 as well. So disappointing countries. Oh, sorry, I read that one. And also at this stage, it is going to be, by the looks of it, it is going to be Parisi who will be making his way out onto the field. So they have decided that that is the better option into this situation. It's been a long time coming, as they have said there. Been working hard throughout just Super Rugby and everything in general. So Jordan Petaia off the field now with an injury. I really hope that's nothing serious because they have already lost the Reesodge, Tom Banks, and a couple other players, I think, in that back line as well due to injury. So they definitely don't want to add Jordan Petaia, who has only recently returned from an injury that he picked up for Super Rugby. That is going to be a penalty, is it? No, that's halftime. Ball went into touch, and now at halftime, 7 points to Scotland and 3 to the Wallabies as well. So it's going to be a very close second half. But just the one try so far for Scotland. Hamish Watson able to score it in the 21st. Michael Hooper, he did score, but unfortunately for him, it did end up getting reversed due to Alanatoa with a little bit of a cheap shot on the ground, which did lead to him ending up in the bin for 10 minutes as well. Scotland, Ireland, and Wales, until not long ago, had Kiwi coaches in England with Oz. Coach speaks volumes there as well, says Edward there. Yeah, this stage is going to be interesting to see how those games next week and the week after go, because England have got 2 massive matches. They have got to play up against Australia next week and then Springboks the week after. Then Scotland, they have got the game up against the Springboks next week. And then the week after, I think Scotland have got Japan. I could be wrong in that regard, though, but I think it is Japan that they are going to be playing with. Let's get their Wallabies played well so far. I'm surprised Scotland hasn't scored more points with that dominating first half as well. And I imagine New Zealand coach, the coach of the Springboks, be crazy as well. Says Kevin, it certainly would be. I feel like it's one of those ones, though, with the Springboks, if they had a New Zealand coach, I feel like people would turn against that big time due to the fact that I think South Africa, they're a very proud nation when it comes to their rugby team. So you want to have a South African as your coach as well. Serious shit talking to the Wallabies in the sheds at halftime. And damn, Tanya, the women, the men, and we'll be getting some love as well. And also we've got them. My money is still on the Wallabies, but I'm rooting for Scotland as well, says Klitschko. So the first part of my original prediction is sitting all right at this stage, because I did say as my very, very first prediction, I said that in this one, it's going to be Scotland are going to be leading at halftime, but then Australia are going to be able to get themselves back into the game and maybe win it at the end. 14-0 to England Roses as well, says Cape Grace. So that's not looking good for the Kiwis once again in that one in New Zealand. Coach coached the Sharks in Super Rugby, mate, as well, says Shark Brain there. Yeah, at this stage, I feel like the domestic level, though, is a little bit different to kind of that complete like international stage. And also we've got there Scotland and Australia have bags of fitness. This will be a full 80-minute game from both sides as well on Sharky. And then they asked him back as well, says Mimania as well. And hopefully I am pronouncing your name correctly. Do let me know if I am getting it wrong. And then we'll try my best to kind of fix that pronunciation in this one as well. But at this stage, very good first half from the Scottish side. They have been looking strong throughout the early stages. The Wallabies have had their moments, but they have got the man disadvantage for the next kind of 7 minutes or so. We will get some stats up for that first half as well to see whether or not either side have really been able to dominate in that regard, but I don't think it will be. I think it will be relatively 50-50 for everything. Possession, actually, my stats as they have it at the moment, this could be wrong though, due to the fact that they do kind of update as we go. 63% possession for Scotland in that first half. Meters carried extremely even. 64 for Scotland, 62 for the Wallabies as well, and then defenders beaten. It's actually 4-0 in this one for Scotland in the early stages of this fixture. More offloads from Scotland as well. Tackles, they have been having a very good tackle completion rate. 32 tackles, only missing the 4. Wallabies, 22 tackles, only missing the 5. 21-17 full time to the Wallabies. And also we have got the northern sides. Strong should be close, and the Aussies are looking proper nowadays, yellow as well, says that JJ. And also we have got their more like massive beer crushing hugs with whiskey breath and banging drums as well, says Tanya there. And also we have got their John Plumtree is the man that Kevin has said. And also we have got their Hamish. Which channels will broadcast the Wasps versus Harlequin games? The app is failing me as well, says Sebastian. So the channels that will have it, I believe it is going to be, are we talking Romanian channels or are we talking New Zealand? Because New Zealand, we have got it on Sky. I believe it's Sky Sport 1 for ourselves, but I believe also, who else has it? Flow Rugby, I think, have the game as well. And the Harlequins YouTube channel, I think they do kind of like a watch-along thing, but they don't actually show the game, unfortunately. Scotland will definitely come out firing in the second half, and also we've got there, that was the kind of thing that just happens, but once the TMO intervenes, the pressure is on the ref to penalise as well, says Mark Morris. Yeah, it was one of those ones that Alan Alatoa, unfortunately, the thing is he didn't even really get a good shot on to the man, so you feel like if he knew that he was going to get a yellow card, maybe would have tried to get him a little bit more, I guess you could say, but it was just a glancing blow, and they were like, it is a yellow, and it's gone back as well. We have got there, Hamish, you got Scottish blood. I believe we worked out that I have got a clan, if I'm not wrong. Is that what it's called, Katie? I think it was, but we did work that out one of the other live streams, but I didn't actually really realise at this stage. But Hamish sounds like a very Scottish name, and Hamish Watson, man, he was able to score it as well. World Rugby showed Romania versus Uruguay on YouTube a short while back as well, says Edward. They also showed Fiji versus Spain, which was pretty awesome to see. And also we have got there in the chat, the Box got one over a strong Wales side. Well done, England, against the Box again, says JJ. And also we have got the game of two halves, perhaps, unless Scotland eventually put their foot down in the second half and run it as well. And it'll be interesting to see how Scotland's second half work pans out as well. They normally lose it. I hope they have done enough as well, says Tanya. Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting moment for, like, I would say the first 7 minutes of that second half, while the Wallabies are down to 14 men, is where it's really going to shape itself. Because if they can end up really getting going in the early stage of Scotland and score another try, maybe that is all they will need to be able to carry on that momentum kind of throughout the whole match for the later stages. But saying that, the Wallabies, they have been closing out matches pretty decently recently. So I feel like that is one of those ones that maybe will be in the situation of Scotland, oh, it's a tough one. It's a very tough one. What's happening with the Black Ferns and Red Roses, mate? At the last that we heard is they were losing 14-0 for the Black Ferns, so that is not ideal, and I hope Scotland push through as well. Says AJ there, and also we have got there the Bok. Got one over a strong Wales side, and also so pleased to hear Frans Steyn yesterday, man of the match. Tell you what, that kick from 50 metres out, he absolutely nailed it, and he still got it as well, which is pretty awesome to see. Hamish is a Scottish name. Must be some of the blue blood in there, Hamish, as well. Says Tanya there. Also, we have got there. No doubt the scoreline is as tonight as a Tiger, so still anyone's game as well. And also, I'm guessing Aussie's fitness will prevail in the second, and they have also, although the one thing that will let them down a little bit is the fact that they have already had to make a sub in the later stages because of the fact that they did have to take off Jordan Pataya, and instead Parisi now making his way onto the field, which isn't a bad thing because they're a very talented player. I see 21-0 now for England over New Zealand. That's not ideal. That's not a scoreline that the Black Ferns would be wanting. And in that situation, I wouldn't think. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes in the later stages of this one as well. We obviously got there. I wish England played New Zealand more as well. And also 55 metres is actually not that impressive for Frans Steyn, the guy who has kicked 65 as well, says Sharp Brain. I guess it's one of those ones, though. He's getting slightly up there in his career. So because of that, it is just one of those ones that it's the accuracy side of it that makes it more impressive rather than the distance, because of the fact it literally dropped just beautifully down the middle from the 55 out. Other players miss it from 20 out. So it is just one of those ones. Very talented player indeed. And also we have got there. I wish England played New Zealand more as well, says Klitschko. It would be awesome to see us get a little bit more opportunity up against England due to the fact we don't really see it happen at all, to be honest. And also we have got there Sharky in the chat. Was that Highfield or sea level as well, says Miminia. Tell you what, your name, it's rolling off the tongue, so I do apologise if I keep on getting it a little bit wrong. And we've also got there, it's as Scottish as Jock Hamish as well, says Darren Todd there. But yeah, I will mention anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, be sure to leave a like. We were hitting the goal of 40 likes by halftime. We're sitting on 51, so we actually well and truly did that. So thank you all very much for hitting that button. And also, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It is hugely appreciated. The Red Roses have a proper grudge on the Black Ferns after the World Cup as well, says Sharp Brain. And yeah, at the moment, 21-0, they are running away with that one. The last match that the two sides played, it was in the end, I believe, 43-12, I have just seen for that fixture. And also, not surprised the Roses pumped them as well. It says Sammy Souza. So yeah, it is just one of those ones that the Black Ferns, they all have to work hard. I believe they are actually going to have a fixture or two fixtures up against France, I believe, are their next matches, which could be quite an interesting one due to the fact that France actually really dominated South Africa for their women's side. So that could be one of those fixtures once again that maybe we don't quite win it. But we will have to wait and see. I do see for the poll at the moment, 43% of you had said that Scotland is going to be winning it. 50% have said Australia. 7% have said the draw, which I feel like might not be a mile off, depending on what way this goes. Need the suit for these big matches, Amish, as well, says Steve Smith. The suit is coming back very, very soon. I think it is going to be here next weekend. I was hoping that the next live stream that we do with the suit was going to be on the main channel, but I think it is going to be next week for Ireland versus New Zealand, England versus Australia as well. Scotland versus South Africa. The big matches are certainly coming. That is an outrageous yellow card, as well, says BC there. And also we have there, what was thing about random people running onto the field, silly? Do they get fines as well, says Kevin? I assume that is for the Wales versus South Africa game, because there was actually one time in the later stages how Liam Williams, he did end up getting a wide ball, but someone had run out onto the field and actually ended up, I guess, like he didn't actually end up hitting them, but he ended up right in the vision of Liam Williams, and he ended up dropping the ball only about 5 meters out for Wales there. And also we have got there, yeah, it was Highfield. He used to do 60-meter drop goals at school already as well. And also, yeah, Frans Steyn is one of the best players to ever walk the planet for sure as well, says JJ. And also thanks for the live chat, says Rennie as well. No worries, mate. Thank you very much for tuning in. We do have these live streams for pretty much every international fixture of rugby that has taken place. We have also there, Chris, 2 hands, hold the trunk of an oak tree, sprout the hands, issuing out of the clouds, motto as well, Inspirata Flurit. And has flourished beyond expectation. Here is Hamish's clan's details as well, says Tanya. That's very fancy. I can't pronounce that middle bit. Inspirata Flurit. I'll probably hear from Steve Smith that I said that terribly wrong. Possibly. South Africans women's side sucks big time. They will get flogged by any team as well. Yeah, they did lose to France, and I think they do have to play England in the future as well. So it's going to be a very tough one for them here. But we must be getting very close to the second half. Get another way. Yeah, Hamish is Scottish as well, says Daria there in the chat. But nonetheless, we have got the try emoji up in the corner at the moment. We'll switch it up for one of the other ones that we have got. We will go with we'll put Kieran up there for a little bit as well. He almost got away with it. I thought he was going to be there for the whole anthem and maybe even the haka too as well, says Steve Smith. And of course, that would be Jarvo that we are talking about there. And also, yeah, Hamish is Scottish there from Tanya. But nonetheless, this stage, looking through some of the stats, in terms of player stats, for who has really been able to get some big meterage, there's not really a huge number for anyone. 18 meters for Michael Hooper is actually the most out of any player, according to my stats. But 2 defenders beat him for Stuart Hogg with 16 running meters. Also, he was able to get a clean break, which did almost lead to the try for Scotland, but they have been the closest to scoring. I guess you could say that Australia have been the closest to scoring without scoring. And yes, security really bad from stopping people as well. And Clans are Scottish Stripes, for those who don't know, are Warriors as well. Says Tania and Tania, you should have been there for the Scotland conversation where we went on a search for Hamish's family Taran as well. And also we have got there Glaswegian, except for the second half, Hamish, as well. Glaswegian. Did I say it right? Can you see any pitch invaders, Hamish? As well, Steve Sharp Brand. At this stage, we are in the studio, so I'm not really seeing too much. In fact, they're actually showing the Wales versus South Africa game on the highlights. Okay, now they are showing it for this backline movement. And yeah, it was a pitch invader who ended up going on the field. Okay, so they are saying they didn't tackle Wales Mao over the touchline as well, but they have got their Murrays versus Clans, and now that would be a battle, Tony, as well. And also at this stage, they are just showing Josh Adams is not too happy there. And like they're saying, they're probably going to put fences and whatnot around the grounds now to try and stop people from being able to get on the field. But at this stage, Murrayfield is looking pretty packed, so hopefully no one makes their way out onto the field for the second half, due to the fact that we want to see some fast-paced rugby. Like I mentioned here, Scotland, if they win this game by 16 points, they will push themselves up to 7th in the world rankings, and they will be sitting at 6th. So it is going to be one of those interesting situations that maybe they can push themselves up to 6. And then if they win the game against the Springboks, even though that would be definitely a mountain to climb as well, it will be interesting to see how it goes. But then Australia would drop to 4th if they did end up going into this situation of losing by 16. So it's going to be a very close fixture in the later stages, perhaps. And they were until the English decide to replace them with sleep as well, says Steve Smith there. At this stage, it is going to be exciting. They are just showing Ireland. They were on fire last night up against Japan. They just kept on going, Ireland, and they didn't look like slowing down. 60 points to 5. All Blacks will be a little bit worried. Apparently, he invaded the pitch because he lost a $20 bet as well, says Sharp Brain. But why? It's like, definitely, like, if you're going to do it, you don't do it when the players are literally there. It's like, it's just not on. We got there. Did Dave Rennie blow up at the Aussie Blokes as well? Says WW. I assume so at halftime because of the fact that they are 3-7 down. They need a massive second half here if they do want a chance, and another 200 quid as a fine as well. Says Sebastian C. I feel like 200 quid is not enough of a fine for running out onto the field. Showing also the highlights from France versus Argentina. Now, Argentina, they were very close to being able to beat France, and also, the Box won't take Italy or Scotland likely as well, says Shark Brain. But yeah, next week we have got some very awesome fixtures. I did mention New Zealand versus Ireland, Scotland versus, it will be South Africa, and also there is England versus Australia. That might not even be all of them. I believe we've got a couple other massive fixtures as well, although I can't quite think of them off the top of my head, so I am going to be quickly having a bit of a Google to make sure that I know exactly who is playing next week and at what times, because they are at all random hours of the morning. I believe it's going to be Fiji versus Wales is another game, so that's going to be an interesting one to get to see how it goes. So we just got game after game after game at the moment. Also, there will be Italy versus Argentina. That's on at the same time as Scotland versus South Africa, though. And then also France versus Georgia. So we'll have to wait and see how it goes. And Jarvo is a nutcase as well, says Tanya there. And also naked streakers are the funniest ones. You'd probably get jail time for it, though, as well, says Steve Smith. And also the big question today is, did the Wales versus Box field invader yesterday cost Wales a try, says JJ. It's a very good question. And it's a very tough one to answer due to the fact that they were in a very good attacking position on the field, and that was a stupid number. Surely it was more, and he deserves to be more as well, says Sebastian. Also, we have got their Box own Duan Fundermover as well. Says it is Miminia, sorry, and Scotland owns Fundermover from Darren Todd. But yeah, that's going to be exciting to see how he goes out on the field up against, I guess, his fellow countrymen in some regards. But it is going to be pretty awesome seeing him marking up against, he will more than likely be up against maybe Jesse Creel or possibly Nkosi as well. Wait, was Jarvo at this match today? Not at this match, but he was at the Japan versus Ireland game that was taking place in Ireland. And also we've got there Josh Adams was a bit mad that the guy came on the pitch as well, says Gaushin. Also we have got there, I tuned in late as well, says Assassin, but no, he wasn't at this game. But he was at another one. But now at this stage, it is going to be Nick White. Goes back into the hands of Rob Leota. And at this stage, just inside of the 22 here for the Wallabies. And they will have to make sure that they are the first team to score. It's a penalty to the Wallabies there. And it does mean now that, I would say 6 minutes left of this yellow card. So they will have to be very careful as well. And we have also got there, owned as in got owned as well. Says, Miminia as well. And in Scotland, they call it Glaswegians, Ouijies as well. Easier to say as well. Yeah, Ouijies is definitely just a little bit easier. Or is it Ouijies? Is it Ouijies or Ouijies? Do let me know. And also we've got the says Assassin there as well. What has the lowest score been? Can't believe it only. What has been lowest score? Can't believe only 7-3. I believe, if I'm not wrong, we are going to get hopefully another 2 or 3 tries throughout this fixture. But Tom Wright trying to line up the high ball. It's gone straight through the hands of Darcy Graham and bouncing back for Price. Well, it's going to be dragged down, but at this stage, Scotland have got this ball back inside of their own half. 45 metres out, Xander Fagerson. One of his first carries throughout this fixture. He's got the headgear for this one. Going to be firing it back to Finn Russell now. Sells a little bit of the dummy, then passes it across to Harris Hogg. Linking up on the outside. Duan van der Merwe stepping back on the inside. Halfway now is where Scotland are residing. It is going to be Price. Goes back to Schulman. Good run forward, but great low tackle by his opposite number there. James Slipper passing it back outwards. And Finn Russell sells the dummy, goes himself, but then not quite able to link up. Rory Arnold now passing it back to Phil Alfaya, back in his pace. Out into the hands of almost Tom Wright, but Darcy Graham. Huge bit of contact between those two players, and it is going to be a little knock on from Phil Alfaya there. And also, first one, Hamish, as also it is Ouijies for that one as well. And we have got there. I'd love to see that as well. It would be brilliant. 2 Mighty Warriors. People battling it out fantastic as well. And 2 ex-South Africa were picked for the game as well as for Stein, as his father's Scottish as well, says Darren Todd. And he scored 4 tries last week, Kyle Stein, which was pretty awesome to see. And Scotland needs something from this yellow as well. Yeah, they will certainly want to reward themselves with some form of points. They will be just inside of their own 22, but Darcy Graham taking huge contact there. And also we have got there, I thought he was just another random influencer looking for fame. Surprised he's not getting lifetime bans for pitch invasions as well. And also we have got there, make no mistake, their warrior spirit is alive, well, and very healthy as well. Your name, Miss, we are Scott, mate, as well, says Dania. And also we have got there, Scotland in the chat from Ernest. But this is going to be the scrum feed. Looks like one of the Scottish players is down to the side of the breakdown at the moment. I believe it was one of the big locks, but he is back to his feet and rearing to go as well. We have got there, he probably appear at Edinburgh or Twickenham next as well, says Assassin in the chat. Yeah, I feel like if he does so, like it's that whole thing of 3 strikes and you're out, and he's already had 2. So I feel like if he has 1 more, maybe something more serious could end up taking place as well. Aussies look a different team without Quade Cooper as well, says Mohammed. And yeah, it is one of those ones. They've also lost Samu Kurevi at 12, Reece Hodge at 15. So they have lost quite a few of their, I guess, stars of the back line all at once, which does make it very tough for them indeed. But now at this stage, Ali Price going to be feeding this ball in for Scotland. 43 minutes into this game, another 4 minutes left of the yellow card. Scotland want points on the board to be rewarded. It was the cancelled out try of the Wallabies originally, though. That's a massive push in the scrum, and it's available, though, for Ali Price. Almost a penalty to the Wallabies. Good step there from, Taniela Tupou has just taken some big contact, and he doesn't normally stay down for very long, so you know that it must be relatively serious. He might have to go off for an HIA here, Taniela Tupou. That is something you do not see very often at all, Taniela Tupou. What's Sam Johnson who running straight at him? But Taniela Tupou at the moment, he's looking like he is a little bit rocked. Perhaps, and it is going to be an HIA here for Taniela Tupou. And also we have got there, it was great to see Sam Cane yesterday as well, says Kevin. And also we have got there, definitely wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of France's Bigby as well. And also without Cooper, Australia is useless as well there. He had Taniela Tupou off for an HIA. He got knocked out. Taniela Tupou. That is something you do not see. He ended up head on head, and he is going to be off the field now. He takes it so seriously, total crack up, but he is a nutcase as well. And also we have got there, it was great to see Sam Cane yesterday. Yeah, it was. This stage, he's just having a bit of a cuddle with one of the medics, but he is going to be going off the field here, Taniela Tupou, which is absolutely huge for the Wallabies here. Ouijies Hamish as well from Tony, and also we have got there in the chat, bring on Skelton. It looks like they are going to be bringing out Angus Bell. Now we will have a later stage of this one, and also did Scotland sniff before this game? I doubt it. I don't think that's allowed. I don't think they'd probably allow them to play if they did so. But that's a big hit. Having Taniela Tupou now, he will be going off the field. And that now means that he is going to be possibly maybe failing his HIA. We will have to wait and see how it goes. But Gus Bell now, Angus Bell that is, going to be making his way out onto the field for the Wallabies. So that is kind of, I know it sounds weird, but it's probably happened due to the fact that Alan Alatoa did end up getting that yellow card because Taniela Tupou out there a little bit earlier on. Does he look dizzy as well? He didn't look like he completely knew what was going on for a few seconds after the contact because it was kind of head and head for Sam Graham was actually the man who he did run straight at. Which is something, I mean, Taniela Tupou getting rocked is something you do not see at all. Good time for Scotland to come on if Tupou isn't looking too good as well, says Sammy Sosa, and also water of life they drank as well, says Darren Todd there. Now, at this stage, it is going to be the scrum feed for the Wallabies. Now, it is going to be Nick White putting the ball in. They have got Tate McDermott off the bench, so we will have to wait and see whether or not they do use him in the next kind of little while. But Nick White, very experienced player at number 9. He has beaten Scotland before in 2013. A lot of concussions in this autumn series. And also just a lot of injuries in general. Parisi now driving his way forward. Now it is going to be in the hands of Rob Leota breaking through, and he scores the try for the Wallabies. And they are going to be taking the lead now in this game. So Australia, while they have been down to 14 men, have actually scored 10 unanswered points. And Rob Leota at number 6 has been able to score it as well. We'll go like that. Isaiah Parisi originally creating the break with a massive run up the middle, and we will go like that, and we will go like that as well. Hey, brother, as well, says Maxie, welcome in to the Livestream, mate. Thank you very much for tuning in at this stage. It's looking like there's going to be a very close finish to this one, and also we have got there. I wonder if the superior fitness created by the Southern side's faster pace down there going to help Australia later in this match, and good try Oz from Assassin there as well, and also we have got there try. And at the chat from Steve Smith, and is there even a what to come down 2 in this game as well? Says Sharp, but I'm not too sure a wire to come down to in this game. I think there is. Because whoever wins this game will have the momentum either heading into the game Scotland versus South Africa or Australia versus England. Both sides want to get the better of this team as well, or get the better of the later stages, I should say. Try for the Wallabies, says Sammy Sosa. It was indeed. Rob Leota was able to score it. And now James O'Connor with an important kick here. For us, we have got the shot. Leota rip Johnny Danger as well, says WW. And also we have got the Aussie, sorry, from Mark Morris. That didn't quite roll off the tongue, did it? But now at this stage, O'Connor lines it up, and he does put it straight down the middle. So now the score, 10 points to the Wallabies, and they take the lead for the first time in this game now, and they are leading by 3 points. England's women side just scored another try, so they are winning 26-0 against the New Zealand side, Black Ferns, and Scotland will counter here as well, says Steve Smith. I think they almost have to, due to the fact that they just haven't quite kept that momentum going for themselves. They did have the man advantage, but it only takes that one break from the likes of a Stuart Hogg or Finn Russell to produce some magic at 10, and then they might be able to go through. And I was going to watch Braveheart as Scotland were leading. Now I have to watch Train Spotting as well. There's interest, and also we've got their house of physical battle going at the moment. Both fullbacks just whacking into each other. Angus Bell going back off the field, and I believe it is because Alan Alatoa now has made his way out there. But we've already seen a few injuries. It was Jordan Pataya for Australia did end up getting injured. Taniela Tupou actually took a head knock, which is a massive one as well. And then also one of the Scottish players, George Turner, early on did end up getting injured. So there have certainly been some big shots being put between the two sides. But the breakdown has been very contested between the two as well. They just keep on going at it. Rob Leota straight in there, almost able to turn it over there for the Wallabies, but still on the side of Scotland. Price looks to the short side, gives it off to Russell. Now flat pass out to Richie on the outside. Chris Harris, quick hands to Graham. Spin him back on the inside. Nick White trying to get on the ball. Did he get it? Not quite. Now the stage passing it back once again. It's going to be Schooman trying to pierce through, but not quite able to. Rob Leota getting put back in the ruck by Ali Price. So they are going to be playing on. It's almost a juggle there from Ferguson, but he is still steamrolling forward. And at the moment, this is a very good attacking opportunity for Scotland. Hogg on the outside. Beautiful attack and run there from Sam Graham. Got the pass on the inside. Ali Price with a step 10 metres out here. And he has been dragged down. And Izzy Parisi trying to get straight on the ball, but there was still the man next to Michael Hooper back to his feet. Not able to steal the ball. Price now going to be passing it back to the short side. Finn Russell drawing past Ferguson. Juggles it. And it's going to be the knock-on. That was almost a try for Scotland. And Australia, hang on. We have got their train spotting as well. And now I mentioned earlier that I reckon Wallabies' better fitness level will prevail, same as the ABs in the second half as well. Says Edwin, and that one has been kicked downfield from the Wallabies. And it has gone into touch, although they're going back for the scrum. And it will be the Wallabies who have got the scrum pick. Come on, Scotland as well, says Steve Smith. And their earphone look cool in the plain Hamish as well. Says it's Kevin Dawes, and also we have got that. If they draw, what you going to watch, mate, as well. And there, I assume, I guess that's a good point for the movie side of it. What's a movie with Australia and Scotland in it combined? I feel like that's a good question. Also, we've got there. Did O'Connor miss the kick? He did get it over. So they are leading 10 points to 7 at this stage. And O'Connor as well says Assassin. And also halftime Roses 28-0. As I says Gabe, yeah, they are playing very well at the moment, the Red Roses. That is for sure. And O'Connor, Scotland get into gear. And Oof Scots had a swig of scotch at halftime as well. Says it was Miminia. But at this stage, Finn Russell able to find that pass off. And tell you what, at this stage, Ferguson almost able to get his way through, but Parisi just able to make enough contact with him to make him juggle that one. Or Rob Valentini nailing Finn Russell there with the shot as well. And also we have got there, not sure why Tier 3 Tonga is even in the full international series as well. Sense interest, I guess it is just to give them some more game time, because they have got a game coming up, and it will be up against either Hong Kong, South Korea, or also Malaysia for their Rugby World Cup qualifiers. So they have got the French Barbarians next week, which I have no idea who will be on that side. But hopefully it is going to be a good one in that regard. Braveheart has Mel Gibson. Does that count as well? Says Lucis Sapin. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. So yeah, maybe they will be able to watch Braveheart. And also, is that the warm-up field behind you as well? Says Maxie. That's a good question. That's a very good question, Maxie. I'm not too sure. Hopefully it is the right one. I know that I have got it at Murrayfield, but I believe it is the warm-up one, possibly, as that stand-in behind me does not look as impressive as the one that they have got there at the moment. But the crowd, I mean, I've got a few people behind me here, but they have got it stacked at the moment. So I believe, yeah, would be the field. Next to the big one. Is that one gone out on the, a little bit of a late shot, but they are going to be going back now for the line out for Scotland. 48 minutes into this game at the moment, and they are showing, I believe it was the number 5 here. So it is actually Grant Gilchrist. Gets a push in the face almost from Nick White. Like they are saying nothing much in it, but I believe, are they going to go upstairs here just to check this? Okay. The referee has just said to Nick White, you calm down. It's pretty much, I'm not Australia support, but I do love the country so beautiful as well, says Kevin there. Yeah, so he ended up pushing, it was Gilchrist in the face, but now it is going to be a scrum feed for Australia, I believe it was called, not straight. And also we have got even the Scots love Braveheart, despite Mel Gibson's bad accent as well. I sob my heart out every time I watch it as well, says Tania there. Now this stage scrum feed once again for the Wallabies. We have not seen Taniela Tupou come back yet, but I assume more than likely if he does get an opportunity, it will be later on in the game. Will Skelton, still a player we haven't seen come out yet. Very low scoring game. They're quite well matched. And yeah, it is one of those ones, as we get further through the game, one moment could be the difference between a win and a loss for these sides. These are the benches that they have got. Angus Bell still available. Taniela Tupou may not be able to return to the field, but they've still got Kurtley Bell, Tate McDermott, Pete Samu, and Will Skelton, the big man, going to be able to come off the bench after playing very well for Lado Shell. He actually scored a try, I believe it was last week or the week before. Going down on the front row once again there, but for Scotland, they have got Stain. They've also got Horn, who might be able to make an impact in the later stages. Hodgson as well. He did start the last match up against Tonga, but instead he will be coming off the bench. Ashman already out there as well. We have got their very chippy game. Both teams need to lower the testosterone. As Nick White, getting carded. That makes up for the 7 A's as well, says Mark Morrison. Also, we have got there in the chat, Nick White has always been the feistiest Wallaby in every game as well, and it is going to be big Will Skelton making his way out there, making the return. And what a moment it is going to be for that big man, Will Skelton, talent and a half, and a man and a half, I guess you could say, because he's bloody about 2 foot, or not 2 foot, 2 meters and something tall. Will Skelton, and also we have got the still reckon home advantage will decide this game as well. And what's your score prediction? Says Maxi. My original one that I did go with, I ended up saying that it would be Scotland in the first half winning this game, and then in the second half it would end up being the Wallabies who are able to close it out. But that's still a very, very mild one. I guess you could say big push there. And now the Wallabies are going to be using it in their back line, 22 meters out, and it's going to be Lena Cattell. Kicks it downfield, looking for the touchline. Has he been able to find it? Yes, he does. Stuart Hogg takes it. Does he decide to take it quickly, though? It looks like a bit of push and shove there between Hogg and also Tom Ryan, and it's going to be turning into a penalty now. 11. So discipline is going to be important as well. How many All Blacks are there in the Aussie teams as well? Says Darren. I don't believe we've got too many All Blacks, I would have think, in that one. Also, dumb penalty to give as well, says Mark. Yeah, Not really a smart one from Tom Wright. Ended up just getting a little bit too fired up, and because of it, meant that Stuart Hogg took it. And then from there, Tom Wright just ended up trying to slap the ball out of his hand, and that is why it became a yellow card as well, or not a yellow card. So come on, Scotland, says Simp. And also we have got there in the chat as well. Still reckon home field advantage will decide this one, and also know what you mean there. It's all I'm not. As well, says Steve. But now at this stage, it's going to be Scotland with a good attacking run. Ali Price lined up by Leonard Cattell. Straight back on the ball as well, and he wins the penalty for Australia. That was brilliantly done by Leonard Cattell. And also we have got their dumb penalty to give. Says it was in there. Mark Morrison also agrees sharp brain on Tonga versus Scotland. But with the box, All Blacks and Wallabies, you get also got the physicality to match the slow power games of the north of the box through the Dragons like Ragdolls as well. And beautiful jackal from Paisami. And also we've got there, did you place a bet? Kiwi lad as well, says WW. I did not for this one. Pretty much that was my score prediction before the game. As you guys will know, my score predictions are normally always wrong. So that is why I don't end up kind of gambling, because I always end up getting it wrong for these fixtures. It's like my try scores and all those ones as well. Brain fart explosion from Tom Wright as well. And also there is a bit like, this is a bit like France versus Argentina. Lots of tension as well, says Assassin. Yeah, in that game, France-Argentina, 2 men got sent to the bin at the same time for a little bit of passing, or a little bit of pushing, I should say. Taken nicely there by Isaac Rodon. Looking round for the man in the number 19 jersey, Will Skelton. He's an absolute unit of an individual. And I feel like if he can get himself a try in this game after returning to the Wallabies in a wee while, I feel like he'll be very impressed. But Falafel now going back to Nick White, putting it high. And it is going to be a hard one for Darcy Graham to take. Takes the mark, though. And now he will be kicking it back downfield as well. And true from Sebastian. And also we have got there Wales versus Springboks was a lot more tense, I believe, as well, says Sebastian. Yeah, definitely in those closing moments. Although saying that, we have got 28 minutes left in this one now, but in the last 10 minutes or so, it may end up just really going either way. But now it is going to be taken by Nick White. Gives it back across to James O'Connor, now kicking it and behind, looking like he is just trying to get that territory going. And it is going to be claimed by Stuart Hogg now with the counter run. And he is going to be chasing his own kick here. Stuart Hogg into the 22. And Callaway at fullback is going to be kicking it back downfield towards the touchline. Doesn't find it, though. Back into the hands of Duan Fundermerva, getting a bit of space and going to be running it forward, holding it in one hand as well, but wrestled down to the ground on the halfway line. Got counter ruck from Australia, but it's still on the side of Russell, who does kick it in behind, looking for the touchline. Oh, terrible bounce there for Australia, and that's a 50-22 for Scotland. No, sorry. Australia with the line out. I guess it wasn't a 50-22. It was very close, though. Where did he take this one from? I believe they must have originally had it in the half, I guess, which is why that one isn't it. A 50-22, and come on, Duan as well, says Simp Slayer. Okay, no, it is a Scotland feed. The commentator did have that one slightly wrong. So now at this stage, it is going to be Scotland who are trying to get that rolling ball going. Still joint at the back. It is going to be Ashman offloading it back now into the hands of Ali Price. It looks like the back line is really starting to lurch. Joe Hogg there with the step on the outside. Duan Fundermerva. Oh, what a great low tackle there from Nick White. And I've just been able to hang on to the ball once again. Hamish Watson, the only try scorer for Scotland so far in this one. And he has been dragged down to the ground once again. Ali Price, they've got the advantage here for Scotland as well. Big carry forward from the Scottish number 4. Ali Price passes it back across. Finn Russell now trying to sell the ball on the inside. Beautiful offload there. It was the number 5, Will Skelton leaving his feet. Ali Price offloads it back, and at this stage, Ferguson with the offload. Darcy Graham, 2 metres short here for Scotland, and they are using their big forwards once again. Unless they decide to use the back line, Will Skelton making the big tackle there. Still available here for Scotland now, trying to keep on going around the side. Finn Russell just ended up signalling to his side, but now it is going to be in the hands of Stuart Hogg. Oh, he's gone and thrown the interception pass, but it's going back for the penalty now. And a double blow of the whistle. Come on, Scotland. Try time as well from Steve Smith. And also Scotland definitely need to score here. And also we have got the as well we do. And come on, Scotland. Shift your backsides to Gear as well, says Tania. But at this stage now, double blow of the whistle. Time off. Which one would you like is the question from the referee. So I believe we'll be straight out in front. And Scotland, maybe they take the 3 to get back to an even playing field, or you kick for the corner and just keep on attacking. It looks like Stuart Hogg, what did he just say? He is the captain of the side. Finn Russell and him having a very big conversation at the moment. But great low tackle there from Nick White on Duan Fundermerva. Literally textbook tackle round the bootlaces. And that offload from Finn Russell to somehow find the hands of the big number 5. Very, very impressive as well. Then it was just an interception pass thrown by Stuart Hogg at the end. We have got their tries coming as well, says Woodshed. And also we have got their Bunnockburn. That's motivation as well in the chat from Sebastian. Also we have got that Scotland's must go for the line out as well, says Sharp Brain. And at this stage, I think they are still deciding. Alan Alatoa now going off the field. And I believe he's got an HIA as well here, or some sort of injury. So that now means that they are going to be losing both of their tight head props. And Angus Bell is now out on the field there for the Wallabies. So that is something that you don't expect to see in terms of two HIAs for props in the same team. Duan is a Scott Bock as well, says Darren there. And also we have got the Scotland must go for the line out. And it looks like Finn Russell. Oh, they're going for the scrum here. They've decided instead for this one. They've decided, you know what, this might be worth a crack. See if we can get this one going for maybe using the back with Fagerson. Off the back of it as well, we have got their Scotland relying on the spirit of William Wallace here as well, says Sammy Souza. And if they can get themselves one more try in this game, they will be in the lead, but they will also probably need one more after that as well. Australia won't have any players left at this rate as well, says Steve Smith. Yeah, that's the thing. They've already lost Quade Cooper, Samu Karevi, and also Reece Hodge with injury. Tom Banks out with injury as well. And now maybe Jordan Pattaya, Teni Alatupo, and Alan Alatoa could all be missing for that game up against England, which is something that they cannot afford to have. But at this stage, I'm looking at the way that they are set up. 5 metres out at the moment for Scotland. They're on this left-hand side of the field. They've got short side, Finn Russell and Duan van der Merwe. On the far side, they will have Stuart Hogg lurking alongside Darcy Graham way out on the wing. So we will have to wait and see how that goes for them as well. It is Monday morning your side damage as well. It is indeed, mate. It is 4:45 a.m. here in New Zealand. We have done an all-nighter last night, doing the matches kind of back-to-back. Italy versus New Zealand, Wales versus South Africa, England versus Tonga, and also France versus Argentina. And then tonight we have got this one, and I am going to be watching the Gallagher Premiership. I won't be live streaming for it, though. I will just end up watching it in the later stages of the evening as well. We have got I'm getting the feeling they gave their all in the Rugby Championship. That's a big push there. And Scotland now have the advantage. Nick White being right on him now. Duan van der Merwe looking to the short side, trying to break the tackle, and he is going forward here, van der Merwe. Taking out the kneecaps, and at this stage now, 10 minutes out, Ali Price gives it to Finn Russell. Wide cut out pass into the hands of Stuart Hogg. He's thrown it forward, and it is now going to be the penalty to Scotland once again. Van der Merwe to smash his way over here, as well as Steve Smith and no Colin Betty as well. That is a good point. And also no Dalgunu. I don't believe they've got him out on the wing either. And also hope they convert. I love playing instead of kicking as well, says it is a Maxi. And also we have got the getting the feeling they gave their all in the Rugby Championship. But yeah, this stage it seems like Scotland are continuing. They're going for the scrum once again by the looks of it. Or do they take the quick tap? They might go for the quick tap here. What are they calling? Okay, Schulman. He's going to throw himself at the line by the looks of it here. They're just going to take the quick tap, Scotland, and they are going to keep on going. No, they have decided the scrum. They have decided that will be the better option. But if they can get a big push here once again, get another advantage, perhaps could end up with a yellow card to the Wallabies at this rate. Wallabies will need to bring back Izzy Folau with everyone else in the hospital as well. Says interest. Yeah, at this stage, I mean, they've even got Kurtley Beale off the bench, which is something a lot of people thought that they'd never see for the Wallabies again. But Kurtley Beale, he hasn't made his way out onto the field yet. Hopefully, if he does, he doesn't get injured, because Racing 92 would not be too happy about that as well. They've also got themselves Finn Russell, Racing 92, so they might do decently as well. Go for the scrum, might get a penalty try as well, says Steve Smith. And well, big congratulations, Hamish stayed up for us as well. And Dewan must switch to the flanker as well there. And also Kiwi Lad listening in from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Thanks for your service as well. Thank you very much for tuning in, mate. That is going to be another advantage here for Scotland. Duan van der Merwe getting closer and closer to the line. 5 minutes out at the moment here, and it looks like they are looking to the short side now. The man on the number 5 jersey, Grant Gilchrist. Ali Price goes back across to Schoolman. Quick hands. And was it a try? I think it was, and that's going to be Scotland, who were able to score it right in the corner. It was Ashman who was able to get it, or was he? They are, I think, going to be checking this one, but I believe it is the try for Ashman. Ewan Ashman, has he been able to just score the try that gets Scotland back into the lead in this game? The on-field decision is try from the referee. He's looking confident as well, Ashman. He came out onto the field very early for the injury of George Turner, and now he may have just been able to score the next try of the match for Scotland. Now we have got their try Scotland as well from Steve. And also the Sever imports delivering well for Scotland. And also we have got the where's the beaver when you need him as well, says WW. Did he get this ball down, or was the foot on the line? It's going to be extremely close. He was up in the air. That's a try to Scotland, and brilliantly done from the replacement hooker due to the fact he was able to keep himself just off the ground. Parisi came across with the cover defense. He did everything that he could to put him down, but he flicked the legs up, puts the ball down in the air, and that is going to be a try for Ashman. And we have got their try Ashman as well from Sebastian. And Scotland is a country that stepped up in the quality of rugby in days of late. I've seen them play some textbook rugby over the last 7 years, scaring some big rivals as well. Next week, Dragon Slayers as well, says JJ. And also, please do live stream for the Wasp games, please. As well, says Kevin. I was considering in the end, but I feel like by then, as soon as I stop talking for this one, my voice is probably going to disappear. And I may watch that game from bed just in case I fall asleep halfway through it due to the fact that I didn't really sleep a huge amount last night because I was just continuing to watch rugby as well. I can hear police sirens over Irvines as well. I'm at one street back from Riverness as well, and all we need now is for Nessie to rock up and roar for Scotland as well, says Tania there. And also, we have got there in the chat now, he might turn out for Tonga if that proposal for changing the eligibility rules gets the 75% approval. But now Finn Russell from the touchline needs this kick. Hasn't got this kick. So now the score is going to be 12 for Scotland, 10 for Australia as well. Will you have the power to stay up for Clermont versus Toulon, mate? I think I'm going to try. I'll see whether or not it does happen, though, because of the fact that pretty much, I think as soon as I go to sleep, I will probably sleep for a good, 12 hours at least. Listen, last night was epic. Magnificent job as well, says it, Tanya. And also, we've got their Beaver in the chat from WW. South Africa wins the game for Scotland as well. Says Spin, although it was in the end, Ewan Ashman who was able to score that one. And now at this stage, Darcy Graham going off the field. Kyle Stain making his way out there, scored 4 tries last week up against Tonga. Brilliant performance from that man. Rob Leota off the field and Pete Samu making his way out there now. But 20 minutes left in this fixture between these two sides. It could end up going either way, but it's a good carry forward for Fagerson at number 8. Once again here, and now Ali Price going to be passing the ball back. By the looks of it now, it is going up in the air. Finn Russell putting the boot to ball, and it is going well down the field. James O'Connor now offloads it now to Callaway. Hasn't been able to score yet in this fixture, which is something he did very precisely throughout the whole rugby championship. England just scored again for the women's game, so they are leading 33-0 now. Scotland stealing that one back, and they have got the ball once again here. The stage are trying to get it marching forward, and they have gone into touch. Rob Valentini helps Hamish Watson up. It's nice to see a bit of sportsmanship at the end of this one. And brothers, 20 minutes go as well, says Miminia. It is indeed. So that means that anything can happen in the final moments of this game. That is for sure. We have got there. See, this is what they do. They always panic in the second half. Scotland, they need to pull it together as well, says Tania. But yeah, it will be very important that they do get this one right. They are just talking to the Wallabies at the moment. Michael Hooper, just having a little bit of a warning from the ref as well, once again, I believe it was. Now, this stage of Scottish players down. Go Scotland as well. And in there, we have got there, they have JJ as well. And also join the Discord server for all things rugby, cricket, and rugby stuff banter. And that is the link to the Discord server for anyone who does want to check it out. It is hugely appreciated. I appreciate my voice trying to disappear already for this one as well. And also, we have their try from Tony. And also, all South Africans on the field for Scotland as well, says Ernest. And also, Nessie is a myth as well. And who do you think wins with minutes left as well, says Izzy. It's a very tough one because Scotland, they are playing well so far. And it's that big question of whether or not they can continue that momentum in the later stages. The referee in Scotland's pocket as well, says Bo there. And yeah, we will have to wait and see whether or not there are any late penalties throughout this one as well. But at this stage, Will Skelton, he is out on the field. And I feel like he's one of those guys that could be the impact player in the later stages of this game due to the fact that, he's a very talented player, Will Skelton. But I am just looking through and in terms of the live odds, because I love looking and seeing kind of how they change throughout the match, because originally Australia were actually in the situation of being favourites heading into this game. Then it changed completely, and it became Scotland as the favourite for this one. French in Brits' pocket, as well, says Miminia. And also we have got there in the chat, come on Scotland, says Sebastian as well. Yeah, this stage it is going to be once again Australia trying to march their way forward here. I am going to quickly go like this as well. I'm just looking through the benches. I will put them up on the screen for you guys as well while there is a rolling ball opening up here for the Wallabies. It is going to be going back once again now out the backline. Parisi now breaking through the tackle of Chris Harris, but straight on the ball. There was the replacement. Oh, he's stolen it as well for Scotland now. They're going to be going back now into the hands of Duan van der Merwe once again, trying to bust through the tackle. Stuart Hogg with him to try and protect that ball. Ali Price now still out on the field. They have got the option of Horn in the later stages if they decide to use them. And also we have got there Schulman, Van and Van der Merwe. That is all as well. And the jabber now at this stage. Scotland 50 metres out. It's a counter from Rob Ballatini. Wins the penalty there for the Wallabies. Straight on it. And he does win the penalty. Tell you what, this is going to be an important few moments for the Wallabies. They want to get themselves back into the lead in this fixture. Not releasing is the call. It's going to be very tough for them. But Perezi, he's been impressive since coming out onto the field. That is for sure. He just keeps on running the ball up, keeps on hitting it hard at the line. And because of that, it does mean that he might, with Jordan Petaia being injured, he might get a start in that game up against England, depending on how it goes, or maybe off the bench. We have also got there. Look, if Australia is going to struggle here today, it's not going to be easy for the Springboks next weekend. Where was the small giant slayer, Faf de Klerk, today? The Boks missed him as well, says JJ. Yeah, they are missing him for injury. Also, Chislin Colby, another one who they haven't got at the moment. And now it is going to be Hodgson making his way out onto the field, replacing Skinner. He's had a reasonably busy game. And that number 4 jersey now taken nicely by Rodder. Going back now, Nick White passes off to Michael Hooper, the captain of the Wallabies. Can he be the man who gets the Wallabies over the line? And this one for Laufaya now firing it back now. James O'Connor out the back line. Peresi drawing past to Callaway. Dragged down once again now. And the Wallabies for Laufaya off to big Will Skelton. Just staying on his feet, the big man, and wrestling forward. Richie trying to get his hands on the ball, not quite able to. Nick White goes back to James O'Connor now. In the hands of Hunter Paisami, sells the dummy, tries to pick and go through the gap. Nick White once again going to the short side at this stage. The tension is building in this fixture between the two sides. It feels like at this stage, any moment could have a match winner for both of these sides. If Scotland score one more converted try, I would say they win this game. But if Australia get one now, it will keep on getting more interesting. Tom right now looking for the offload, not able to find it. 7 phases in a row here for the Wallabies. Angus Bell now very good man when it comes to carrying the ball. Has worked out once again. Scotland giving away the penalty, and now Australia straight out in front would take the lead if they decide to take this one. We have got there in the chat as well. Scots will definitely be seeing Nessie if Scotland wins this. The amount of whiskey consumed, they might even see 2 of them as well. It's Scotland hold on for the win or push for the penalty as well. Says Sharpbrain at this stage. It is going to be James O'Connor who will be lining up the 3 points. This will give Australia the lead back in this picture as well. And also we have got there, I'm going into hibernation if they win. The streets will be safe as well. And Scotland last beat New Zealand in 1946. Have they improved since, says Edward? I would say so. They've improved only in just the last couple of years or so for them. And they are saying they're very harsh on Hamish Watson for the penalty, and also Australia get the penalty, oh no, as well. And 150 people watching, congrats, says Ollie. Yeah, it is absolutely incredible the amount of support that we have got on this live stream. If you guys are new, be sure to leave a like. Also, subscribe to the channel because we are going to be doing plenty more international rugby live streams in the future. I'm just looking at the votes so far. We've had over 200 votes, and at this stage, it says that it's sitting 46% of you have said that Scotland are winning. 48% have said that Australia are winning, 6% for the draw. That is very, very close. We're on 58 likes as well. So can we possibly push towards 80 by the end of this live stream? If you haven't already, be sure to leave a like. And also, we've got their point is having a laugh both ways as well, says Mark there. And now at this stage, James O'Connor lining this one up 30 metres out. And he has got that one. So now the Wallabies take the lead. I agree, Hamish. They have improved recently as well, says Edwin. And also, we have got their very tense game as well. Sense interest here at this stage. Seems like all the subs are being made here. And this could be a massive moment for the Scottish front row. But he's going to be making his way out onto the field for Schumann. Also, the other sub that they are making is it is going to be Oliver Keppel making his way out there. 10 minutes left. It's going down to the wire as well. It says at Shark Brandon. Also, we have got the I'm starting to believe you had a few glasses of Cabernet as well. And also we have got the I'll probably be joining them in the streets, says Steve Smith for that one. Tom Wright trying to break the line there for the Wallabies. This stage, they have got the points on their side only by the 1, though. The big thing here is I'm looking at big Will Skelton. And I'm thinking if he has a carry about 2 meters short of the line, they're not going to be able to stop him. So that is where the Wallabies need to get to. But then saying that, if they end up in the situation of Scotland give it out into the hands of all, that's a little bit of a juggle, but now it's going to be their number 16. Once again, the try scorer Ashman forced into touch. And now it is going to be the Wallabies who have got the line out live and live and like the stream as well, says Sebastian. Also, over there, Stuart Hogg's pep talk obviously did something as well. And also like the live stream and subscribe to the channel. Massively appreciate it, says Sebastian there. And also, is it true the Boks are going to join the Northern Hemisphere playoffs from 2023? They are indeed. So the teams that are going to be taking place, depending on where they finish for the URC, the Bulls, the Sharks, the Stormers, and also the Lions, all can be eligible for the Champions Cup and the Challenge Cup as well. Wes Hamish can't get the penalty as well. Says Sharkbrain, he was actually the one who gave away the penalty for the one that did give Australia the lead, but they were saying that it was very strict. 13 more subs, G's as well. Says Ollie there, so thank you all very much for hitting that subscribe button. Also, 15 minutes to go, which can make or break either team on who wants it more as well. Says Sammy Sozan. Curtly Beale, he's back in the Wallabies kit. It's been a little while since we've seen him in it. And now it's taken nicely by Isaac Rodder. Ball drop, though, by Australia. Now it's going to be the scrum feed for Scotland with the 14 minutes left. We always got there in the chat as well. I can't believe South Africa beat England yesterday, T20, but out, unfortunately, as well, says Kevin. Yeah, their points differential just a little bit lower than Australia. So the teams that are through the semi-final, what it is going to be England taking on New Zealand, and then also Australia taking on Pakistan as well. Geez, it's a 2-point game, nail-biting as well, says Tanya. Yeah, this stage, I feel like this is why right now where the score is sitting, I couldn't predict a winner of this game. It could have gone either way. Both sides going to be playing their hearts out for the last 13 minutes of this game. And how far out is the scrum at this stage? They are 37 metres out, Scotland, from the Australian line. So they've got a wee way to go. That one's gone down in the front row. What do they blow as? Oh, the referee had his whistle in his mouth, decided against it due to the fact that they went straight down. And Finn Russell with a drop goal as well. And also we have got the Scotland get it together. And also let's go 200 live, or let's get 200 live watches as well. Says Ollie there. And also Tate got a Kiwi haircut as well. He almost does, doesn't he? Almost similar to Damian McKenzie, I guess you could say. Alan Alatoa has a little bit of a going as well by the looks of it. But I guess it's one of those ones. Tate McDermott, I've called him the sniper in the past because of the fact that he has been able to get himself just round the side of a breakdown and really pierce the gap as well. I think your prediction might have been the right call, Amish, as well. Says Steve Smith there. That one's gone down in the front row. It's a penalty to France. And now they are going to be able to take the lead back if Finn Russell can convert this one. This is one close one. As well says AJ, and it was in the front row. I believe it was Kibble, was it, or Batty? It might have been Batty. No, it was Kibble. And now Finn Russell is going to be the man who will be kicking at the post here. 12 minutes left in this game. It is very, very, very close between these two sides. That is for sure. And also we have got the, imagine that, we'd send the stands flying out at Murrayfield as well there. It would indeed, although even them winning that penalty there, it has certainly fired up the crowd at Murrayfield. It looks like it's a packed out stadium, which is pretty awesome to see. France as well says it's interested. Did I say France? Okay, it's Scotland. Sorry, wrong colour of blue. My apologies there. Come on as well. Says Ollie there. Says it was Ollie Montgomery. But well, of course, last night, I think I called Argentina England, didn't I? So I feel like when it's later on, and there's that situation of I end up with some weird names coming through, Les Les Blues as well, and flipping heck, I spit my coffee as well, says Ollie. And also, why don't Scotland go for the line out as well? They are only 1 point behind, and Finn Russell is very consistent with the boot, and now Scotland have got the lead back in this game. They are sitting on 15 points to the 13 of Australia. So yes, the try would have been nice, but they wanted the lead first, and now from here they will try and build their way up. And JJSC Coffee as well in the chat there. At this stage, 11 minutes left. I don't think I've seen a poll as close as this one is on the channel in terms of picking a side at this stage. It's almost like exactly identical, with both sides having around that 48-47% mark, and then 5% have said that it could be a draw, taken beautifully there by, and it was once again Ferguson. We have got their coffee on a Sunday as well, says Mimania, and also we have got the You Must Be Thirsty. You seem to be fixated on alcohol, and there's Blue Box as well, says Jorkum. And also we have got the It's Too hot for coffee here. It's going up into the sky. Curtly Beale takes it nicely. First carry back in the Wallabies kit. It's a good one as well. But he is going to be held up in the maul. He does go down to ground. And now around the side, Pete Samu. Going to be protecting the ball nicely here for the Wallabies. Alan Alatoa, a little bit of a juggle there from Paisami, but still available for the Wallabies. 10 minutes left now in this picture. Angus Bell looked like he was going to be offloading and instead going to be carried down or tackled hard by Butty. This stage he did try and roll away, and that is exactly what he did. Rob Valentini still out there, gives it off to Perezi now instead, though. And at this stage, the Wallabies just a methodical pace of building themselves into a few phases here, trying to keep Scotland on the back foot, waiting for the gap to open up. It is going to be now back on the outside now to Curtly Beale. This is starting to open up a little bit for the Wallabies, coming back nicely. It is Hunter Paisami straightening with the run 40 metres out now for the Wallabies. Will Skelton once again driving straight at the Scottish defence. He could be a man who scores the match-winning try. Sounded like the referee said advantage, but he hasn't got the arm out. It was ripped away. That's going to be a knock-on, I believe, against France. Or, sorry, against Scotland. And that one has gone backwards. No, they are saying it is all right. And now Scotland have got themselves the ball. England women just scored another try, so they are winning 40-5 points. That's a massive bit of space back there by Michael Hooper. He's not going to be kicking it, passes it back across to Callaway now. And he is looking for the touchline, and that is exactly what he has been able to find as well. We have got there, just like Wales versus South Africa, this game is a thriller as well, and Scotland need to defend like men possessed right now. And also we have got there coming up as well in the chat. No worries, mate. You haven't slept for 5 years as well, says Citrus. And also we have got there, it's too hot for coffee here as well. And also we have got the OMG in the chat. I'm in Wales as well, says Ollie, for this one. Yeah, this stage, 9 minutes left in this game, and neither side willing to take that backward step. Seems like they are making one more sub here, and I believe, I want to make sure I say the right name. I believe it was Josh Bayliss. He is replacing Hamish Watson, the try scorer earlier on in the match for Scotland. And then Horn is making his way out onto the field, and that is replacing Ali Price. Big task involved for this young number 21 due to the fact that Ali Price has been doing very nicely at night throughout this one, but his night is over. And now it will be the youngster who does have to try and win this game as well. Yeah, it's got their wait until the streamers as well, says Manila in the chat as well. Yeah, Josh Bayliss wasn't in the starting lineup or reserves last week, so it is going to be a Scotland debut for him as well. Same place for Bath. They actually had a decent game this weekend, I believe, up against Leicester in the Gallagher Premiership. There is one more Premiership match that is taking place tonight, and that is the Wasps versus the Harlequins. And that is going to be at 5:30 New Zealand time, so 25 minutes time till that game is going to be kicking off. New Zealand into the semis as well, says Rashikesh. It is indeed the fact that it is going to be England versus New Zealand. That was a massive swap back in the line out. They have still got this one just on their side here, the Wallabies. It is going to be in the hands of Kirtley Beale. Got a long boot, puts it straight back down the middle of the field, playing the territory game, and taken by Hogg inside of his 22, returning fire with the flat kick. Callaway takes it. Looks like he is going to be kicking it back once again, and it is just that kick and battle, well controlled there by Finn Russell, bit of pressure on him by Michael Hooper, great low tackle, but finds the offload to Duan Funamura. That's the thing, Russell, you got to tie up the legs and also the hands, because or else he will just keep on offloading that ball. Counter ruck coming from the Wallabies, not able to get that one back. It is going to be now in the hands of Batty. Looks like it is going to be Frankie Horn who decides, George Horn, who decides to go back. And also we've got their come on Scots as well, says Ollie. And also we've got their London Irish left me dumbstruck. Can't believe they managed to chase that huge deficit as well. Yeah, they've done well. London Irish, they've drawn 3 games so far in the Gallagher Premiership, which is kind of it's an interesting one to see how it does go, due to the fact that pretty much like the Gallagher Premiership is very unpredictable whether it's going to be able to win. Kirtley Beale, he's just been picked up, and it is a maul, and now because of it, he's just going to be tied up by Scotland. And this is going to be a scrum feed, I would think, for Scotland once this ball does go to ground. And that is exactly what they have got themselves in. The crowd erupt. We have got there, come on Scotland, score a try for the win as well. And come on Scotland in there, come on Scots, says Ollie and Tani as well. Everyone going for Scotland by the sounds of it at this stage. And also we have got there 187 watching, says Ollie. So that is absolutely incredible. So thank you all very much for tuning in. If you are new to the channel, Kirtley Beale just getting held up. That situation, he had both feet off the ground and he was still getting held by it was Jamie Ritchie and also the man Jamie Hodgson. Both Jamies deciding to link up together and know this game is 2 tenths as well. And coffee is your friend as well, says Cintrus there. But yeah, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It is hugely appreciated. Number 22 now. Oh. Okay, I thought for a second they were taking off Finn Russell, but instead it is going to be Johnson in the number 12 jersey going off the field, and it is Adam Hastings making his way out there. All of these players out there now for both of these sides. One last minute kind of effort might get them the win. Love this rivalry. It never disappoints as well, says Steve Smith. It is certainly very, very close at this stage. Only 7 minutes left in this game as well, and it is going to be a scrum feed for Scotland now. McInnery also making his way out onto the field. That is replacing Falau Whaingaa. So the thing that Scotland have done very well throughout this match is the scrum. They have been able to win themselves about 3 or 4 penalties, so that is exactly what they will be trying to do here. And it is a kickable distance for Finn Russell if they decide to take it on as well. And we have got the 195, says Ollie there. And also said, has to be lose both teams deserves the win as well. Yeah, it is going to be rough for whoever ends up losing this game. But both will know that they've put it all out on the field, and hopefully they've found some form heading into the next one. Big push there. Oh, front rows go up. So it is going to be the scrum reset. It's no use the Wallabies looking for the killer play now as well. They just have to play a clinical remaining time as well, says Tania there. And yeah, it's pretty much the discipline will be the difference in the later stages of this one. We are going to have the time off once again, and now a total of 6 minutes, 12 seconds left in this game. 202 and 205. Let's go, says Ollie. So we have it over 200 viewers on this one. So thank you all very much for tuning in. If you are a fan of rugby podcasts, we will be talking about this game on the Rugby Down Under podcast. The link is the pinned comment. And also we have got the link to the Google podcast side of it as well, if you guys do want to check that out. But we will be talking it as myself and an Australian. So this will be an interesting conversation. Definitely if the score remains the way that it is at the moment, to hear what his opinions are of this one. Time winding down on the Wallabies as well. Says Sammy Sosa, yeah, they are running low on time, that is for sure. And they're going to have to be very careful not to let Scotland get themselves a penalty here, because if they do, then all of a sudden it goes from you needing a penalty to you need a try. And Remy screwed up by changing the lineup that won them the last 5 days as well, or last 5 games, this interest. Although, to be fair to Dave Rennie, he really didn't have much of a choice. Quade Cooper went back to his Japanese top league side. Same with Samu Karevi, same with Sean McMahon. So all 3 of them weren't actually available for selection. Reece Hodge injured, Tom Banks injured as well. So that is why they weren't able to do that. That's a massive push there from the Wallabies, and they've won the penalty there for them as well. Michael Hooper yelling at the referee, and he's getting a bit excited there at this stage. Any point from Scotland at this point seals it for them as well. Says Sammy Sosa, and this games is these games are closely matched teams are often better than the big guns. They're much more exciting as well. And will Finn get a drop goal? I think that was a little bit too far out if they did go for it, but maybe later in this game. Did that commentator just say a box of tricks as well? Says Mimenia. I'm not too sure whether or not I said it, but maybe the commentator on the TV may have said it as well. Oh, well, Australia got the penalty. How many minutes left at this stage? Says Stating Fires. At this stage, we are up to 75 minutes gone in this game, and Australia are going to be kicking it for the touchline. 227 watching. Says Ghost Slayer, and also nice penalty for the Aussies. They'll need to make it count as well. And where is the location on the field at this stage? They are sitting 30 metres out. The Wallabies, they did just kick it for touch. And now 30 metres out. McInnery at the back. He actually scored in the game last week, I believe. Or the week before, up against Japan. So he is trying to march his way forward here. Will Skelton, he is involved in this rolling maul. And when you've got that man in a rolling maul, it keeps on rolling. And that is what is happening for the Wallabies. They need to make sure they use this at the right time. It's not a good pass there from McInnery. Puts Tate McDermott under pressure. 2 Scottish players trying to get straight in there. If they turn it over, no, not quite now. Parisi looking to the short side. Great tackle on him, and it's been ripped away there by Scotland, and they have got the knock-on advantage now. And now it's going back into the pocket. Horn passes it back across field. Finn Russell, it looks like they're going for the counter-attack here. He's got the men with him. Passes it now to Duan Whanameva. Drew and pass. Out to Stuart. Oh, back in the pace. Inside ball now to Horn. And this is looking good for Scotland up to the 22 now. Still going for, but Callaway able to make a last-ditch tackle. Hogg now passes it back. It is going to be Hastings. Finn Russell, cross kick. Looking high to the sky. It's gone out on the full. And now it is going to be the the line-out for Australia. Turnover, baby, as well. And Stating Fires to see, come on, Scotland. I love the intensity of this game. Come on, Scotland, as well. Says Sebastian there. A nice penalty for the Aussies. And now, seeing coaches winning games lately, but sending on the correct subs, it's become more important with the intense rugby these days. And come on, Scotland score. As well, says Steve Smith. Yeah, Duan Whanameva involved in that one. Same with Stuart Hogg. Good work from Horn to be able to really get in there, George Horn. He wasn't in the starting lineup or reserves last week, but he's been going decently for the past kind of 4 minutes or so that he has been on the field. Cross kick from Finn Russell, just a little bit too much on it though. And I like how the game is so intense, and I'm watching, I'm talking about how many people are watching as well. Says Ollie there at Scotland, try. And the chat from Stating Fires, it is once again going to be the line out here for the Wallabies. They are sitting 30 metres out from their own line, and they cannot really afford to give this ball back to Scotland, but it looks like Tate McDermott might be going for that was a bit cheeky. Jumping over the top of the breakdown, and it was actually Ewan Ashman who gave away the penalty, and that is not ideal for Scotland due to the fact that it was probably going to be possibly the Wallabies inside of their own 22, maybe kicking it back. Now, it does mean that they will be able to get a little bit further down the field. James O'Connor putting that one way down the field. Does he find touch? He does not. And now Stuart going for the low grubber kick. It's almost a 50-22. But it is just going to be in the field of play now. Kirtley Beale trying to run it back out. Going to be kicking it as well. And that one has gone back downfield. England women have scored another try. That is a good kick, is it, from Kirtley Beale? It is indeed. Inside of the 22, and now it is going to be in this situation of a Scottish line out. We have got there barracking for the Wallabies, but Scotland deserve the win as well, says Izzy there. And also we have got there in the chat, too much adrenaline there, Finn, as well. And another penalty for Australia. OMG, this is too much as well. And also how many minutes left? Says Stating Fires at this stage, 2 minutes left in this game. We have got there. Glad you put the scoreline up, as I haven't got a clue what you are saying as well. Says Ian, yeah, sorry, I ended up talking very, very quick in the later stages of this one. Who Fiji play next? They are going to be playing Wales next week. And we are going to be covering that game on the channel as well. How far out says WW at this stage? Scotland just inside of their own half, 45 out, but now 50. They're on the halfway line. Pete Samu trying to shut it down, but it is going to be available now for Horn. Passing it back to Finn Russell, trying to find the offload. Does drop it, but it went backwards. Horn now trying to pierce his way through once again. Straight on the ball there. No. Valentini not able to get it now. 1:20 left. Scotland are setting it up, and they are just going to be hitting it up with the big forwards. I don't know whether or not they are in the position. It's a penalty to Scotland there. Player entering through the side, I believe it was Rob Valentini, did end up getting himself penalised. And now Rob Valentini looking straight at the face of the Scottish player. And Red Roses are ruthless as well. And the Scots has got a grip of this game like a bull terrier on its prey as well. Are they not going to let it go? They can smell the meat and beer from here as well. And also just got to hold on to the ball and kick it out as well. And how long is left, says Aidan? We are less than 1:50 seconds. And also we have got the BKR Sport is quietly fuming about his team is about to lose as well. And also we have got there who England playing. They are playing the Black Ferns. And England next week, if we're talking about the men's, they are actually playing the Wallabies, who may be slightly wounded after this one. But it is certainly going to be sure that that one is going to be a very good fixture as well. We have got there, I need the loo, but I can't leave now as well. So start here. This stage it is going to be Finn Russell kicking it for the touchline. Time is not back on at this stage. Okay, now it is 40 seconds here. Like they are saying, they saw the situation for France versus Australia, where they did not kick the ball out, France, and then it did cost them. But now at this stage, 15 or 20 metres out here, and it's going to be the line out. How the hell do you lose against Scotland as well? Says it Voot. And at this stage, we have got the Go Scotland in the chat from Yeton. Also, we have got there he knew that he'll have to talk about this game on the podcast as well. Says Sebastian. Also, we have got there Scotland as one. Says stating they are very, very close. They just need to retain this line out and kick this ball into touch. It's gone to the front, taken by Richie now. And as long as Will Skelton doesn't get straight on the ball, although if he does, I believe that doesn't actually benefit them unless he can rip it away. It's going out the back. Horn takes it, kicks it out, and Scotland win the game against the Wallabies. 15 points to Scotland, 13 to Australia. And, sorry as well. Well done, Scotland as well. Says Sharpbrain, they've been able to get a very hard-fought victory. 15 points to Scotland, 13 to the Wallabies. 3 tries in this match. Rob Leota, the 1-try scorer for the Wallabies. Scotland able to score twice. Hamish Watson. And also the other try scorer was Ewan Ashman off the bench. And yes, as well from Ollie and Woo, says the May 5. And also, well done, Scotland. Come on, Scotland as well, says Ollie. And also, I'm very proud of Scotland, mate. And also, yay, Scotland from Steve Smith. And also, I know, and he won't be too happy about it either as well. I'm looking forward to the next set against the Box as well, says the Jup. And yeah, at this stage, we are going to be covering all of those games on this channel. So be sure to hit that subscribe button if you guys haven't already. It is hugely appreciated. And also be sure to leave a like on this live stream as well. We were trying to hit the goal of 80 likes by the end of this one. We are currently sitting on 67. So can we hit 13 more? Let's see if we can do it. And also was never in any doubt, as says Ian there. And also congratulations, Scotland. Massive, massive victory, says Sebastian there. Now, they did not win it by 16 points. So what that does is it means that Scotland will be still sitting 7th, but they will end up gaining, I believe it's 0.68 or something along those lines in terms of on the real rankings, maybe a little bit more than that as well. And the banging later as well, says Minia. And also we've got there in the chat a little bit earlier on, looking forward to the next Saturday against the Box, and also did Van der Merwe play. He did indeed. He was out on the wing for this fixture. Had a reasonable game. He didn't really get the ball as much as I guess a lot of people would have anticipated, but he was still important in this one. Same with Stuart Hogg throughout it as well. And Scotland is awesome, but they will lose the Box as well, says Shark Brain. And also, well done to the Bravehearts for being the first to take the Southern Scalp in the Northern Hemisphere tour as well, says JJ. But yeah, these two sides, Scotland, they have got South Africa next week. Australia, they have got England next week. And then New Zealand, they have got Ireland next week as well. Fiji playing Wales, 4 massive matchups, and we are going to be covering every single one of them as well. But at this stage, Gallagher Premiership is only just around the corner as well. The Wasps taking on the Harlequins, which should be a very exciting contest as well. But nonetheless, we will look through a few stats to do with this match, and then we will be heading off for the night. It is currently 5:20 a.m. here in New Zealand. Still dark. Thought it might have been almost sunny, but no, why did I think it was almost sunny? It's 5:18. It would not be sunny at 5:18, ladies and gentlemen. But New Zealand women try. Scored 1. We're sitting 10 points to the 49 or so of the English side. And also we've got the, you never know, the Springboks failed twice against the Wallabies this year as well, says Sebastian there. But at this stage, the Scotland side, they were able to hang on in this fixture. Taniela Tupou, bit of a concern there for the Wallabies. He did not return to the field. In fact, while I think about it, Taniela Tupou did not return. Jordan Pataya did end up with an injury. Also, Alana Latoa did not return to the field after having an HIA. And then they also ended up losing, Scotland lost a couple of players as well. Cheers for the stream, Hamish, brother. Another great commentary, 10 out of 10 as well. Thank you very much, mate. And I am glad that you will be happy with that result as well, mate. You have been repping your Scotland boys, and hopefully they do decently in the game next week up against the Springboks as well. You never know, the Springboks as well in Scotland will get their first ever win to the North. Guess who would have guessed it, mate, as well? And didn't Ireland pump the Japanese as well, says Ian? They did indeed, which is why I am not at all confident in the game that New Zealand are going into, because New Zealand struggled a little bit with Italy, whereas Ireland, 60 points to 5 over Japan, which was absolutely incredible for them as well. And also over there, I feel the Wallabies will seek revenge against England as well. And Wallabies were sorely missing Quade Cooper and Samu Kerevi as well. And also not even the great Romans beat the Scots as well, says Darren Todd. And also Scotland. And thanks, Kiwi lads, for transmission as well. Says the job. No worries, mate. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hopefully you did enjoy this live stream. It was a very entertaining one due to the fact we never knew what way it was going. And I feel like I was the same throughout the whole live stream in that regard of, like, the week leading up to this game, I couldn't pick a winner. I kept switching in my head of who I thought it was going to be. In the end, my prediction was going to be Scotland leading at halftime and then Wallabies just to sneak it at the end. But in the end, Scotland leading at halftime, just able to sneak it for it as well. I'm not surprised that that's 3 matches in a row. Australia have lost to Scotland now, says Steve Smith. So, yeah, a little bit of the bogey team, like we mentioned earlier on as well. Be sure to like the stream, subscribe to the channel, check out the pinned comment for the podcast, and join the Discord for banter as well. There we go. We will put that up there, the Discord link. If you guys want to join the Discord server, we talk all things rugby, sport, anything on there is what we talk about. Brilliant as ever, Hamish. You're a total legend as well, says Stadia. Thank you very much. And right back at you as well. Home ground advantage as well, says Voot. And also talking about being brought back down to earth by Scotland, the Wallabies as well, says Sammy Sosa. And also Box lost the Wallabies, but won against the All Blacks. Don't underestimate the Box, says Springbok. And we will get to see those massive fixtures taking place next week as well. I'm very excited for them, because we just got international rugby for days. Even France versus Georgia is a game that I'm quietly excited to get to see happen. And yeah, hopefully it is going to be a very good one. But at this stage, more defenders beaten for Scotland in this game. Also have more possession, 62% of the possession in this game. They were able to have more carries, almost double the carries. In fact, actually more than double the carries, that Australia had. 6 defenders beaten to the 2. Clean breaks, 3 to the 1. Offloads, 11 offloads by Scotland. I want to say a huge statement here, and I think about 6 of those were Finn Russell, and he was really having an impact in that number 10 jersey. You're definitely a legend, Hamish. Cheers. As I said, so thank you very much, mate. And Australia are extremely powerful at home, but they are a weak touring team as well. Says it was in there from Shark Brain, and also, oh well, Scotland won. And also pepperoni versus mushroom versus extra cheese versus sausage versus onion. Which toppings you like for pizza as well? Oh, I quite like, I think it's called a barbecue chicken bacon deluxe from Pizza Hut. I think it's my one as well. Great point, bro. We put them on the mantelpiece now as well, says Ian. And also, cheers everyone for tuning in. Big love and thank you. We enjoyed this live chat very much in true worldwide rugby commentary as well, says JJ. Yeah, I absolutely love these. Due to the fact we have people from all around the world tuning into these live streams, and I just absolutely love it. You guys always turn up for them no matter the hour of the night. Yeah, you are always here, and it is hugely appreciated. And like I mentioned, we are going to be back next week. Also, anyone who does want to know the lineups for the next week's games, they are going to be on the Kiwi Lads main channel that we have got ourselves. Be sure to check that out as well, as we do announce the lineups on there. And also, maybe we will be doing a few live streams on that one as well, if that strike that was wrongfully put on there does get removed. But Darcy Graham at this stage actually having the most running meters out of any player, according to the stats that I've got myself. 32 meters carried from the 8 carries, 1 defender beaten, and 1 clean break, whereas Lena Cattell was doing very decently in the midfield alongside Hunter Paisami, both having 24 meters, and Michael Hooper also having the 24, and then Callaway 29 meters carried with the 7 carries at fullback as well. But overall, it was one of those ones, I think it was really a team effort from Scotland. There was a few players who were standing up, but there was always, like, overall a solid foundation in this one. Lots of morning love to New Zealand as well, says Tania there. And also the Wallabies have some serious decisions to make and work to do. They used to be one of the teams to beat, not anymore as well, says Tania. And also we've got there, thanks for the great commentary, man. See you guys next weekend, says Assassin there. And Everness is whooping as well, or Everness is whooping, sorry, says Tania. Of course, being in Scotland, you would definitely hear some noise at the moment for that win over the Wallabies. Falafai are actually topping in terms of the tackles made by the Wallabies, having 8, and then also 2 turnovers won by Leonard Cattell with 7 tackles made as another impressive one. And then Sam Johnson is able to get himself 8 tackles, 1, and then 1 turnover, 1 for Hamish Watson, an important one as well. Ref must have had shares in some Marines as well. Says up Mark Morris, and also 10 out of 10 commentary, Hamish. Cheers, mate, for everything you do, says Sebastian. No worries at all, mate. And yeah, I just absolutely have loved it because of the fact that at the end of the day, like, you guys being here for these live streams in the middle of the night, just make them fly by like it's already 5:30 in the morning. But it feels like it's like still like morning, but that's because I only woke up at about 1. So I guess that makes sense. But so it is morning. Morning, everyone. Oh, some fella just said, "Hey, New Zealand," in my ears, and it was very like, it was quiet for about 5 minutes, and then he's just like, "Hey, New Zealand." And it gave me a bit of a jump scare. Must be the porridge diet as well, says Gabe Race there. And also we've got the now for the Formula One as well, says JJ, and also in Mexico. So hopefully that will be a good race for you. And thanks for the live stream, says Rennie Wong. And also, as if Australians care about rugby as well, says Mark Morris there. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. If you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Be sure to check out that pinned comment for the Rugby Down Under podcast, where we will be talking international rugby. I will have a Australian on that podcast, and that will be a very interesting chat due to this result. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in, and I will see you all for the next one.